Okay, so
We can only
question.
feed one of these recordings to the machine.
Somewhere the internet's going, I don't want 2 of these.
Okay, the question for this week is that if you could pick what musical instrument would you want to play, vocals is a legitimate answer as well.
Tuba.
What's that big violin? The one that
Cello?
like it's on the ground and you have to like strum it like by hand, like with a single hand. Like you have to hold it with one hand.
It's
No,
either
it's
a
like
It's a
cello.
bass.
viola.
I think viola is like a smaller version of the violin.
Well, what's a cello?
I think the cello is the stand-up, deeper,
Yeah.
bassier version of a violin.
Laura, you can answer this. The giant violin that people strum like this.
The bass.
It's a cello.
I knew it, and everyone's like, "No, I'm wrong."
I was thinking cello.
Why didn't you say anything then?
I did. I said
You
I think it's
did.
cello.
I'm watching you. I'm watching you.
You wanna
Fortunately, we have
sit on
2
it?
recordings that we can verify.
Shall we confer with the tapes?
Wait a minute. What happens if one recording says one thing and one says the other?
I believe we contact the Men in Black.
No, Cope, don't go splicing the machine and saying things in different timelines.
What if the recording just says "Get out, get out, get out, get out"?
Then you just have to wonder which one is it talking to. Like, which one of us is it talking to?
No, it's all of our voices, but we're all saying it in unison.
I'm out of here.
Throw the child down as bait. Run.
Well, considering that only one of us has a child, sorry, Cope. Them's the breaks.
You don't have to be the fastest.
Do you say vocals could be one of them?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd probably go vocals. I'm just thinking, was it The Hobbit where all the dwarves burst into song at the beginning?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dwarves have always, in like every interpretation, a lot of people forget about this, have always been quite musical. So
I could see that being a nice ancestral homage.
that just leaves Taskill and Thrum.
Thrum, I think, is definitely a Mongolian throat singing.
From his bagpipes. He had bagpipes at his 5th wedding, and he really enjoyed them.
Pipes are good stereotypical.
Very popular with the Highland dwarves. That's not a joke. That's something I wrote down. So that just leaves Taskill.
Electric guitar.
The electric oboe.
The Caribbean drums.
I don't know if that exists in this world.
I can see
Tambourine.
Taskill, man.
I just said drums.
So, to recap, we have a cello, a drummer, bagpipes, tuba, and vocals. This is possibly the ugliest sounding band I could imagine.
So it's a very dwarven band then.
A lot of bass, I'll just have to say.
That's fitting for the dwarves, though.
Yeah, underground bass would probably carry pretty well.
Yeah, don't use your human concept of what sounds good to our ear.
It's like an entire gang of dwarves just ate nothing but beans for a month.
Clear out the Underdark via fumigation.
You don't want to know what the winds underground are. All right. So, does anyone need a recap of last time?
We questioned Mr. Drow that survived the attack. We set up our meeting grounds. We found a obelisk that summoned more zombies than we could handle. We spoke to the alchemist. He gave us permission to be in a city. We bought some stuff. My head almost exploded by psychic reverberations of fungus.
Still in
And
that room?
that's all I remember.
You specifically said end of last session that you were standing there for a little bit longer, so we're jumping right back into that.
Well, there we go.
Yep. All right. So, to jump off us making jokes about Richard's rolls, give me another wisdom saving throw.
I mean, 3's close to a natural one.
Yeah. Let me think how I want to describe this.
What does it look
Oh.
like when one becomes a fungus?
Well, currently what it is it's not, well, it's a wisdom, not a constitution, so thankfully he is not turning into a fungus. But, he's just getting a absolutely massive overload of all the rapport spores that are floating around in the College of Dreams. If you guys remember from last time, the main chamber of the College of Dreams is there were these series of thrones with these like very long, lanky, and old-looking Zan kind of grown into them, and there was just these massive clouds of sparkling rapport spores that swirl up near the top of the dome, almost looking like a spinning miniature galaxy. And there's lots of other Zan with scrolls with glowing ink going around and copying it down. Fergis, you're not processing this information inside the College of Dreams super well. You're getting a lot of flashes of colors and shapes and shouting words. Occasionally, like a clear image comes through, like some hunters tracking a beast in the jungle, or two rocks grinding against each other, a giant amorphous dark shape being stabbed into the earth by golden-clad giants, a mushroom growing out of a pond.
Well, I probably pay attention to that one about the giants.
Well, it's gone.
Yeah. And I'd probably get gone too, because I imagine my character has a splitting headache.
Yeah, roll me a 1d3.
I'll just do a 1d6. So that would be a 1, either way.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That's a good sign. You take one level of exhaustion until you take a long rest, just because it's a massive migraine to try to process all the information.
Okay.
I believe Nolgrim and Thrum were going to get gems and currency to get gems for our weapons.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Don't forget if you remember, there in the handout there's the Apothecary of Zan handout with all the details on that.
So, Loki, you need 6 gold pieces from the cart.
Trying because it was, what was it, 100 gold pieces to
I thought it was
have it done?
50.
50? Okay, if it was 50, then yeah,
It
I
was
just
100
need
for both of us.
okay. Then yeah, I just need like 4 gold pieces and I'll have enough.
Okay. And then I was going to take... I wrote it down, so I'm just reading what I'd written. I need to take 5 bulk, and we both need to take a 10 gold piece gem.
Mhm.
So... take... You're taking 4 gold pieces?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you will have 4 platinum and 10 gold.
Yep.
And I am taking 5 bulk in meat. And then we're both taking a 10 gold piece gem, which puts us down to 50 gold pieces worth of gems left. And I imagine heading back.
Okay, so that's what you guys are doing. What is Freya and Taskill doing?
I recall heading out to the gate because the air in the village was giving me a headache or something.
Yeah, there's definitely billowing, drifting spore clouds. Not like the ones from outside in the jungle, but you suspect it's probably just a byproduct of their Zan.
Yeah, they kind of hose you down every other paragraph.
Okay, so you're gonna hang out outside the gate by the cart. What's Freya doing?
How long have we been here?
A couple hours by this point.
Okay.
You had the meeting with the alchemist immediately, but then you were given free range to explore the city.
Yeah, I guess I'm just going to walk around and study what this society is like.
Yeah, absolutely. Why don't you give me an insight to see what you can kind of piece together about them, and then I'll give you like a description of what you see.
Yeah. Insight.
Okay. A moment. Yeah. As you kind of walk around some of the elevated bridges of the city of Zan, it's a very odd and alien kind of society. As near as you can tell, they don't really seem to have any sort of currency per se. So it's not like they've got a structured economy. You see large circles of Zan gathered around, releasing spores, and they kind of doing this humming vibration in like synchronicity. If it's some sort of music, it doesn't sound super appealing to your ear, and you more feel it than hear it. When you were briefly passing through the Throne of the Alchemist, you saw all matter of scientific and alchemy experimentations. And out in the city, you do see workstations where some of the less alchemy involved Zan are weaving strands of this fungal mycelium into fabrics of their own kind. It's a very, outside of the vibration, it's a very silent city because there's no vocal communication, and though you can faintly hear the footsteps, it's all pretty soft. With the 11 on your insight, you get the impression that there isn't really a criminal element amongst the Zan. I know out of character, Cope mentioned the joke about the idea of a hive mind because of the spores, and while that's definitely not true, these are definitely individuals. You get the impression that they don't really ever disagree with each other on things. The exact specifics of what that might be, you didn't quite roll.
They never disagree, but they're not a hive mind. Interesting.
It sounds like a hive mind with extra steps.
They agree on every decision, like some kind of hive of creature.
No. He's not hive. He's swarm.
Well, perhaps I should be a little bit more
Swarm.
specific in my verbiage. When dwarves disagree, they yell or punch each other. That doesn't happen amongst the Zan.
Okay.
Don't worry, it's not one of those creepy things where you see a whole pack of them walking in like perfect synchronicity. They're definitely
They just do that for fun.
yeah. And also how each of the Zan looks is wildly different. You can definitely tell that Miku's form, which is the traditional bipedal 2 arms, 2 legs, kind of a head looking thing, is, while the norm, there's wide varieties of ones. You've seen some Zan that rather than having one larger mushroom head are split in the middle with 2 thinner stalks and 1 eye on each side. You've seen some that scuttle about on 4 legs. They seem to be just as wide and varied as the countless forms of fungus and mold in the jungle itself.
You see one with like a dozen eyes.
Oh yeah, very possible. Was there anything else, or good for now?
Yeah, I think that will suffice, and I think that's what Freya would do.
Okay. So looping back to Fergus, you kind of stumble your way out of the College of Dreams, feeling a little woozy in the head.
Mm-hmm.
You do find Ivy kind of just sitting on the edge of the bridge, and she hears you coming up. She goes, "Well, there you are. You've been in there for like an hour. I was worried about you."
Yeah, I just thought I'd see, if I could gain anything that they might be talking about, and no, it just gave me a headache.
Yeah, but that's also so you know, it did not feel like an hour to you, but
Yeah. I assumed when she said that, like, I was probably in there longer than I intended to be. So I don't want to have to act a lot, but I was basically going to say that I would try to mention she probably might want to have them craft some antitoxin for her before you orders, because while we have some natural resistance to poisons, she doesn't. And I know she has money because I gave it to her.
yeah.
And maybe some healing or anything else you want to pick up, but definitely some antitoxin for yourself.
That's probably not a bad idea with everything in the jungle out there. Out of character, you can spend her money, Richard, if you would like.
Yeah.
I've got enough trackers as it is.
So I'm gonna have her order 3 orders of antitoxins. So I think it takes 2 days per. You can't stack them up, right?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll have her order 2, but like if we leave before the second one's made, we can always come back another time and get the other one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. When you for the gem cutting or the making of the antitoxin, the cost is not necessarily because the work is particularly difficult, but they're just wanting compensation because it's taking time out of their other projects to do that for you. They may not have a necessarily capitalist economy here in Zan, but they still want to make sure actions yield a reward.
And I believe Nolgrim was trying to get some training while working the gem into his hammer.
Yeah, I was gonna see if I could find maybe a lesser alchemist to help me get training too, at least get started.
Yeah, the gem cutting training would be free.
Okay. Is it just to add an additional day to my towards that training count?
How many are you up to days now?
I'm up to 13.
13.
I think it's out of 42, I believe, if I wrote this down correctly.
Yeah. Let me just double check to make sure I know on my own.
Okay.
because sometimes numbers don't stay in my head too good. Let's see here. Performance, recognition, research training. Okay. So how many days did you say it was?
I have 13 in and 42 is needed.
Okay, I would say each day you train with this Zan gem cutter will count for quadruple time.
Ooh, nice. How many days were we planning on staying here?
I thought we were at least waiting a day or two to hear back from the alchemist's decision.
Okay.
Yeah, I said the next, whatever their equivalent of a day is. I have to do some light translation because weirdness of the Underdark and time not really being the same.
Especially to creatures that may or may not need to sleep.
Yeah, I kind of determined that they do like a, I call it a Sentinel's Rest because of Warforged rules, where they just kind of hibernate for like 6 hours but are still vaguely aware of their surroundings, and then they pop back up. Yeah. Okay. And the cutting of your gems will take about, I would say for both gems, about 2 days. They're pretty speedy with his special chemical-based process, but still takes some time.
2 days each or 2 days?
2 days total.
Okay.
Would I be able to do the same thing with finding an alchemist to help start my training too?
Oh yeah, there's even more alchemists than gem crafters. I'm not even gonna really have you worry about
so
that.
would it count as quadruple time too? Because I'm just starting, and you said it takes 42 days?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll start writing that down then.
I'm trying to remember where we got that number from.
I think we looked up how many weeks it takes. And there was like 2 different opinions. Like some of it said that like it took like a year's worth of training.
Yeah, because I briefly looked on an SRD and they said 250 days. I'm like, that sounds way too long.
I think you also gave us bonuses, like reduced it since it was something that a dwarf would have innate ability to learn.
That is also correct.
So mine might take longer then.
You know what? I have my DMG right here. Let's just look in this book. Downtime activities are weird because there's 2 different books with 2 different rules.
While you're looking that up, I'll be right back.
Yep, no problem. Also, I could do to be more organized and write this shit down, but
And there was so many things that GMS would juggle. I think downtime rules regarding training stuff is kind of low tier there.
Yeah, he could just start tracking it and you could figure it out later.
Yeah. So remember I was doing it like week chunks normally. But anyway. Yeah, I'll figure it out later. It won't take too long training with this guy though. Probably around a week of this, and you'd probably be up to what you need anyway, right?
Pretty much. At this point, I'm probably good with like 5 more days and I have it.
Yeah.
Well, Thrum did mention multiple times as we were coming in that we are almost out of food, so we definitely need to take some time to boar hunt so we could hunt while you're training. I don't imagine Taskill will be upset with having to leave.
Just FYI, I'm back now, but I'm probably going to be quiet because I have to put a tea bag in my mouth to help stop the bleeding.
Yep, it's understandable.
Jokes.
Right? Like, gonna head that
Listen,
one off in the past.
I've been there enough to not make jokes about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know if I said something, I'd just be jinxing myself, so I withheld any sort of commentary concerning I'm going to be going in to get stones removed here in a couple weeks, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta warn you that really hurts your tea bag too.
It's why I don't make too many jokes about gender reveal parties in the California wildfires, because I've been there and it's not funny.
Mhm.
The particular area where I grew up in California is currently on fire, so
Mm.
that's gone.
Didn't like your uncle's house burn down?
Almost burnt down, and it might burn down again.
Yeah,
He had to evacuate, so
crazy.
yeah. That's why when all the people here in Minnesota are like, "Oh, gender reveal parties," am I right? I'm like, this is actually something that is affecting people I know. So like, tame it down.
Also,
Anywho's
that's not even the dumbest thing that started a fire in California.
Oh, I know.
Wait, what?
We've had really dumb reasons that fires have started.
The gender reveal party started the fire?
Oh,
Is that
one
the...
of the
This
fire.
one,
All of them.
Not all.
just one of them. We have
What
a lot of
did
them
they-
every year.
Sorry to sidetrack us, but I gotta know. Okay, I'll ask the internet. Never mind.
It was a boy, in case you were wondering.
Thank God.
What was the joke that Stephen Colbert made? Sorry, we turned the sky orange, but how else are we supposed to know that it's a girl? Anywho, was there anything else you guys wanted to do this day, or did you want to fast forward time?
I'm just going to be spending my day training with the alchemists.
Yep.
Same
Yep.
here.
Did you decide on the time frame for mine, by the way?
I did not. Why don't you just write down
The days right now?
the days right now? Yeah.
Gotcha.
I would, before this day's over, I would seek out everyone else and let them know that if they can join, we need to have a hunting party tomorrow.
Hey, sounds like a plan. I haven't seen much wildlife in a while.
They're out there. Always are.
What are you talking about? You met so many zombies.
Oh God, if they start eating the wildlife, can you eat
I mean,
zombies?
to be fair, they might take them if they're dead and like not going to come back to life. They're still nutrients. I mean, I don't really know, but maybe.
Oh yeah, we should actually tell them about that and maybe see if we can get a party together to go wipe it out.
You did see when you were stumbling through the College of Dreams that they had a few of those kind of zombies in cages, and they looked like they were being studied. All right, so the new day, day 140. Huzzah!
I assume we have to eat our own rations.
Yeah, they don't exactly have food for you.
They don't want us to eat them.
I would assume so.
We just wake up to Esky 9 on one of their heads.
Esky's like grazing and on their babies.
Oh God, that would not go well.
You have only seen full-sized Zan during your time here as well.
Well, I'm assuming because there's nursery gate written down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there's like 24 guards standing in front of that. Anyone who's spending significant amount of time in the city itself, so probably not Taskill, give me a Constitution saving throw at advantage.
If we were leaving this morning to go hunt, do we need to roll?
Yeah, this is just kind of like for the last day. Okay. So Fergis is good, Nolgrim is good, Freya is good.
Oh. Okay.
Thrum is good. Yeah. And Taskill said he was spending a lot of time outside because he didn't like the spores. So you don't have to roll.
Oh, and you fail your very first constitution.
Yep. Listen, I throw a lot of poison at you guys, but that's because I know you have advantage.
Yeah.
I mean, you say that, but how many times has Thrum gotten poisoned?
One of them was a disease, so
That poisoned him.
give him the poisoned condition. There's a difference here. Rick.
It still counts.
It still counts.
Where did he get that from?
You got bitten by a fungal dog,
You.
and then you got an infection.
Man, we should have kept one of them and seen if they wanted them for pets here. Then they could have had fungal guard dogs.
They give STDs.
Probably not to them.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably, those giant scorpions you have are getting close to full size, so you're gonna need to start thinking about what you're gonna do with those soon.
Keep training them on the side and eventually Esky.
Eventually, you latch them up to the cart.
We're gonna need a bigger box.
Esky, jump in my bag.
Let's
Wow.
go
Well,
to
we
the
do-
giant's house and steal one of his shoe boxes.
We put them in a box and then have Esky pull the box. Efficiency. It's like the webcomic I saw where a guy said, "My hobby is undoing," and he had a tiny air turbine that was for generating air power, and it was hooked directly into a fan that was pointing the other direction.
I don't know why I find that so funny.
I know. It's just a funny, stupid little thing. Alright, so it sounds like Thrum is trying to round up people to do a hunting trip.
Yeah, well, tag along.
Bring your hunting dog too.
Okay. So that's Freya and Thrum. Who else is going?
Yep.
Alright.
I'm probably gonna hang here.
Yep.
Probably
Yeah, I
need
imagine
some training to do.
You and Nolgrim were training.
I imagine Ivy's on board though, so you still have a
Yeah.
scout.
Though, did we ever meet up back with the head guy?
He hasn't called us to a meeting. I'm pretty sure we
Okay.
can't just walk into him.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought we were
And
to
to
come
be
in
fair,
the next day.
there are still people in the town, so some of you in the town, so if he does call, you're not unrepresented.
Okay.
I mean, very fitting that we would have Nolgrim and Fergis as the representatives that they call us while everyone else is out hunting.
Alright. Give me a survival roll to see if you can pick up on the trail of anything.
I'll aid Taskill.
Hey, wouldn't they want to aid you since you're the ranger?
I've
He's
got a
got
+4 to it
survival.
at the moment.
I forgot that Thrum is a weird ranger.
Yep.
Ivy wants to aid.
Solid 4.
I don't think she has training in survival, so I'm going to say she can't do that right now. Because this isn't foraging; you're hunting for a beast. It's a different type deal.
Yeah, you have to have proficiency in it. I don't at the moment. There. So.
Well, then you aid me.
Okay.
That's terrible.
Okay. You do find what looks like some kind of animal track. Doesn't look like it's boars though. And this is just in the immediate vicinity of Zan, so you're not moving next. So just
All right. I got something. Might not be a perfect match, but it is some kind of porca. Can I tell if it's 2 legs, 4 legs?
It's 4 legs.
Okay.
Well,
I've hunted just about everything, walks or crawls. But I haven't seen this before. But
Made of pork.
You can give me a knowledge or another survival to try to identify the tracks if you wish.
What?
Either another survival or a knowledge nature. Either one. Looking at it, you may have only seen it once, but you're 85% certain that this is another one of those fungal.
I couldn't hear you. Fungal what?
A fungal wolf, the thing that bit you.
Could we eat that thing? I don't remember.
You never tried. It was pure plant. It wasn't like a zombie. It was just some sort of mobile carnivorous fungus that just so happened to have the silhouette of a canine.
That one's no good. That's one of them fungal beasts again.
So you try to find some different tracks then?
Yep.
Give me another survival. I'll say you get 2 more until the day's spent. Oh, shit. You're looking for boar specifically, correct?
Yes.
On a natural 20, you do find boar tracks.
There's what we're looking for.
It leads us to our old hunt.
Yeah, definitely with a natural 20, because I was rolling randomly to see what animal that you run across, but with a natural 20, I feel like that's dealer's choice.
Towards the archetype of.
Unless cow was an option.
In Dungeons and Dragons, default rules, there is such a thing as an Underdark row.
As a mushroom?
It's literally just an ordinary cow that lives in the Underdark for some reason, and it is the craziest shit that I didn't want to include it just because it's so stupidly bizarre. Like, it's not adapted in any way other than dark vision. It's an ordinary cow.
Not just pull that shit out of Minecraft, Gombo mushroom, right?
Yep. I even found a picture for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what happens if you leave Esky in the jungle too long.
Got a bather.
Also, do you want to eat that? I don't want to eat that.
Here, I found a better one that would be edible.
Look at that picture. It's not growing on top of the cow. It's growing from inside the cow.
Oh. Yeah, let's just go for the boar. Boar had enough meat.
All right.
Well, that one's prettier, but still has mushrooms.
Hey, it's a built-in stew machine, okay?
Yeah, I never find the mushroom biome in Minecraft, but don't they produce thermal mushroom soup instead of milk?
No, I don't think so, but I don't remember. I know that there's mushroom islands, so it's really hard to find them. I found them one time, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, look at all these cows I want to get, but I'm just going to slaughter them instead.
All right, so with that survival, especially a natural 20, you're able to follow the tracks no problem. If you want to get the jump on this thing, everyone's going to need to give me stealth rolls.
All right.
That's for Ivy, by the way.
Yeah. Surprise, surprise. Not really in question for her. All right, looks like Freya is the lowest. What is passive? Okay. Joke. So, 1 minute.
The Steel Defender doesn't have a stealth score, so would I just use its dex?
Yeah, just use its dex.
3. Yeah, that's about what you'd expect.
Clonk, clonk.
All right, so
It can't be surprised, but it's not going to be surprised in anything else.
Sneaky, sneaky clatterbag.
So I'll move you guys over to the map here. Unfortunately, the Steel Defender did give away the farm, but you guys can click and drag your tokens down onto this map. Yeah, if you want to say you're like in the tree line or something like that for stealth, you can. But the Steel Defender definitely gives away whatever position he's in.
I imagine with a 23 though, Ivy's at least still not seen.
Oh yeah. That's safe to assume. Make money. No. These cave floors never get a break. Even the natural ones are over.
I have advantage, and I still roll 2 1s for initiative.
Oh wow! No, you roll 7 and a 1.
What?
Yeah. You
Oh,
rolled a
my
7.
bonus is only a 1.
Still, yeah, it's I see what it is. It showed the 8, even though you got it shows the red because you did roll a natural 1, but you still got a 7. That's weird, but not terrible.
I think we still need Michael to drag his characters in here and roll.
Yep.
Or did Michael ditch out when he was like, "Oh shit, I can't fight with being
Freya
seen"?
is there.
Right,
I think I'll need to put the Steel Defender down. Did you roll for initiative, Michael?
Not yet. I'm trying to. Yeah, let's come over here and initiative. That pop up.
Aw. I see your initiative. It didn't. Oh, never mind. It's on the turn order now.
Okay, cool.
All
You
right.
You still have to click your tokens with these, don't you?
Yep, you do. All right. So that's everyone up. Ivy's up first.
Could she climb this big green mushroom and try to get to the top of it?
Yeah, absolutely. Give me an say an athletics test.
Oof, she's gonna fail at this. Oh no, never mind.
Never mind. She hops right up there, and it doesn't even take away her action. It's still just a move.
Okay. Let's see. How far away is this thing? 60 feet. She could fire at it, but I think she'll wait. She doesn't seem to want to fire first. She's going to hold her action until it gets closer, ally engages. I think she's still stealthed, so.
Yeah, definitely. Freya, your Steel Defender manages to place a, I guess, foot thing on an area that's actually bare stone rather than lichen covered. It makes a loud scraping clank, and the boar spins around in place and looks directly at your location.
No, it's okay.
I say nay.
No,
Just thinking
like
old
it's
video
not.
games that they couldn't afford to make a turning animation, so it just whips around.
It just flips.
They still do that sometimes. What you want to do?
Okay. Let's go ahead and try to get a fairy fire off on him.
Okay.
Can Fairy Fire reach all the way over there?
Maybe. Let me see the range.
You could always move 30 feet and then do it, and that'd probably be close.
I just always forget the distances and spells
Yeah,
in the
it's close.
system.
It's 60 feet, so
Yeah.
I can move like that, and I should. Either way, I got the movement to do it.
That's a dex save, correct?
Yes, that would be a dexterity save.
Okay. Not its best, but not its worst. Nope, that'll fail. I don't even need to know what your DC is. That is definitely a fail.
We got it. And
Oh,
then
wait,
we
did I-
send in the Steel Defender.
Wait a minute.
What?
Initiative says we're fighting a cave boat.
No, it
Oh, Lord!
oh, yeah, that.
Oh,
Yeah, I typed too fast on the token.
I don't have my swim trunks.
That's my bad.
Oh God, it's a dinghy. It's coming for our dinghy.
Look at the size of the dinghy.
No, you gotta worry about us getting dinghied.
That's no dinghy. That's a that's a mast.
I moved my steel defender up there, but he cannot attack because that was.
Double move.
Yeah, that's good enough for Ivy to take a shot, though.
Okay, so Thrum.
Alright.
Oh, Ivy's taking a shot. Sorry. Yeah, that'll hit. 8 damage. It hates it, but it's not very hurt.
Yep.
Now Thrum.
Is it 20 movement speed for dwarves?
25. 5 feet better than Pathfinder.
All right, he's gonna.
Yeah, they lose 10 feet of movement in Pathfinder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And since they took away the heavy armor lowering your speed in 5th edition, they gave them 5 extra feet, so that way it didn't feel like it was a complete jump. You growing?
Yep.
Of course.
Don't they
it's
have
super
5?
good.
Doesn't the 5e dwarves have the ability where your armor doesn't slow you anyway? Or is that a
No.
Pathfinder thing?
That's a Pathfinder thing.
Yeah, the
Um,
Pathfinder dwarf. That's the trade-off, right? So that's
Yeah.
your armor doesn't slow you down, but you get the extra 5 feet of movement.
So there's like no downside to being anything besides light armor. Like, fuck it, I'll wear heavy armor. I'm not slowed at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. He 1.5 moved, so bonus action, and that's it.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
And he's got his spear out and ready.
Dwarves are super good because not only is it just you can wear whatever armor, it is you are never like over encumbered,
Mm-hmm.
so you can just mule around shit.
Taskill.
Well, you know what time it is.
Hammer time.
Mhm.
Oh.
Gonna batten down his poop deck with fucking hammer.
Cave boat.
And it's
Are you
an
striking at its
advantage
bow or
'cause
its
of the-
stern? Okay, I'm gonna be done with these jokes now.
He said he was battening down the poop deck.
Listen, Richard. I defended you about the teabag in the mouth comment here.
That's why I
Yeah,
said
he
I'm
really
stopped.
He needs somebody on the ship.
Go ahead and give me your attack. Oh,
Yeah.
attack.
It's advantage because of fairy fire, right?
Yep.
Not that
Yeah,
I
that'll
can
do it.
miss too often with this thing.
7 force damage. Takes on the nose. All right, it's its turn. Everything's too close, so it can't do its charge attack. So instead, it is going to use its move to get here. It didn't leave anyone's threatened area, so it's no AOs. And it's gonna try to headbutt Nolgrim in the gut.
That's impressive.
That's
He's only
quite
level-
a
Sorry,
range
not Nolgrim,
attack.
Thrum.
Look at that reach.
Listen, I've only done 15 sessions of this. I will never get the names, apparently.
This cave boat has amazing reach.
It is, anyway.
Nolgrim's there just trying to craft gems, also just gets knocked aside. What the fuck?
So can Ivy like jump across the mushrooms to here?
Apparently, this cave
Yeah.
boat was a battleship.
No roll necessary.
Following
No.
shots.
carrier.
Listen,
Sorry, go.
I'm very tired. So,
As am I.
Yeah. To be fair, it was supposed to be my turn to DM, and I kind of dropped the ball there.
oh, it's no problem.
Next week, though, I promise.
Tomorrow for sure.
I'm stuck on trying to figure out some sort of nautical puns on this thing.
Well, that's Ivy's turn. She shot him full of lead.
Yep.
And then it's Freya's turn.
She placed sunglasses upon her face and then just pulled out a Glock.
Make sure to turn it sideways first, because, rogue.
Yep.
That's a kill shot.
Yep.
Not
Oh
a
man,
good
could you
fun.
imagine that in a D20
Not a
modern
good
game,
fun.
activating sneak attack turns the gun sideways? Freya.
All right. So we are going to take out the Gloom Stalker. Give this thing what for? You may be in the way though, Thrum. So, but you're made out of stone, so it's like it's not even gonna hurt if it hits you,
It'll
right?
just blink off. Don't worry. I trust you.
That's what I'm saying.
After one, shoot him in the bum. And that'll hit.
12 piercing.
Big damage.
And then the Steel Defender will do its Force Empowered Rend, also at advantage. Get a crit.
20 for 6 damage.
Yeah.
Nice hit.
Mm-hmm.
2 on both the dice.
Yep. Thrum.
Alright, Thrum will bonus action rage.
Mm-hmm.
If he stepped here, is that leaving this guy's threatened area?
It is, yes.
Okay, then he'll stay. And he will he'll torpedo him in the side with his spear.
Oh yeah, that
We're gonna
Damn.
sink this border ship.
Your spear goes all the way through it and comes out its belly and clanks into the ground, but when you withdraw, its eyes narrow and red and it doesn't go down.
Oh, bloody hell. I pissed off the battleship.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, guys, it was one time.
You just gotta make it through this
That was a
combat.
good typo, though. It does not provide.
Listen, you have
10
no idea how
minutes.
much typing typos have made stuff in my life. My screen name of Great Gombo was literally a typo
Are you
that just
serious?
stuck.
Yes, Cope was sorry. But Cope has forgotten it, apparently.
What was it supposed to be?
I was doing a free MMO and I was feeling goofy and it was supposed to be Great Gumbo, but I hit an O instead of a U because I was typing too fast and it came out Great Gumbo and I realized like 2 weeks later and then I'm like, screw it, no one has that on the internet. That's my name now.
There you go. Nice.
Unlike me, where there's like 27 Fireborns. Of course, I
Okay.
Google my real name and I get like 6 Asian dentists.
Yeah. Fun fact: I googled my real name, and according to Google, there's a 0% chance of someone being named that. So,
Shit, you're a glitch in the Matrix.
apparently. Anyway, Taskill.
Yeah, well,
Man, I have a video I want to post, but it would reveal your real name to people who don't know it. I'll just send it to you directly.
Everyone but Cope knows it.
Yep.
I honestly really don't
Behind the
mind you
curtain.
guys knowing at this point. It's just a game.
Mm.
Now.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, that hits. And it goes down. Didn't even get a chance to use the second win.
Yeah. That's...
You see, this is why if you fight one big boss versus the entire party, you want to have legendary actions. This wasn't supposed to be a boss, but this is just an example of what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or having mooks really helps a lot too.
Because
Yeah, you gotta have numbers.
that board did like 2d6 plus 4 damage on a hit. It's not insubstantial, but connects.
Yeah.
Well, look at that good fight we had the other day where like one of the mooks just kept chasing Ivy the whole time.
Oh Lord. But yeah, that's why I added so many quirks to that one final fight against the goblins in the first session. Because if it was just how it was in the book, it's 2 goblins plus the commando. You guys would have destroyed that, especially with that crit that Michael's character got.
Yeah.
It would have been over in like 2 rounds.
That's okay. This was just to get meat.
Mm-hmm.
I just saw that video you sent, Richard.
Apparently, there's 90 plus different versions of me. If I would Google my name, I've never done that before. There's a highway construction guy. There's an agriculture guy. There's an official and academic who worked in agriculture again. Apparently, I was nominated by Bush to be chief agriculture negotiator.
Well,
Yeah,
shit, man.
We know you can grow stuff.
Alright, so I'll move you. Move you to the city map. Set fog. Then I'll determine how much boar meat you got. Let's see.
Just a lot of football players when I looked up mine.
Alright, let's see here. Yeah, so you're looking at about 600 pounds.
Sweet, we got some for trading and for eating.
I just looked up wild boars real life weight, multiplied it times 4, and then removed it for the bones.
Cool. So 600 pounds of meat, you said?
Yep. Actually, that reminds me. Give me a survival real quick to see how efficient you are at extracting it.
Oh, okay.
Someone assist him.
Yeah, what's his face can assist me. Taskill.
I like to imagine Thrum hasn't
You're
learned
fine.
his name fully.
You got all of that. In fact, take an extra 10 pounds.
You really... No, that extra 10 pounds is just the bone marrow. That's good eating.
Oh,
Call
good for stews and
Taskill.
such. Make some
This
beef
is
broth.
Task kit.
Now that they're done hunting an endangered species, they have their haul.
I hope we get them all by the time we leave here. Remember those boar that once roamed the fungal jungle? Those were good eating.
Hey, see, we've killed enough of them. Maybe we'll have to find a nest of them and just keep their babies and raise them as farm animals. And we can just
Yes.
be fungal farmers.
Because the wild boar population definitely isn't a problem in real life because of people doing that.
Yeah. You know, domesticated pigs I think it's in one generation, revert to wild animals. Like domesticated, if they breed one time in the wild, they start regrowing tusks and stuff.
Wouldn't surprise me at all.
There's some bad ones in South Georgia. I mean, it's scary.
Yeah, in California, we just have to worry about wild turkeys, and they're dumb as bricks.
There is actually still wild boar problems in California too.
There is, just not nearly as bad as some areas.
Nearly every single continent in the world is plagued by wild boar problems.
Mm-hmm.
Except for certain wildlife preserves in Canada, because that's where they keep the wolves.
The only problem
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that we don't have enough of them to eat.
Yeah, Georgia is a case study on what happens when you lose like a apex predator population, because we have nothing to keep our deer and our boar in check, and they are just a nuisance.
Well, that's why they encourage hunting, isn't it? Because,
Oh yeah,
you need to reduce the deer population somehow.
yeah. I hunted for years and years, and I would take the maximum every year because otherwise I hit them with my car, and that costs a lot of money.
All right, so half the party ripped and teared until it was done.
Meanwhile, at the library RP.
Yeah.
So you mix this one with this one. Cue explosion in my face. I swear I'll get this one day.
Logan looks like, how the fuck did I get this wound? Looked like a fucking tusk hit me.
Listen, guys.
Yes, sake, my Nolgrim.
I've been doing 12 sixes for like 2 months now.
We
Tell me
joke
some
because
slack.
we care.
My vacation starts next week.
Any plans or just doing nothing
doing
with
nothing.
intensity.
Yeah.
With intensity.
The overtime was supposed to stop this last Monday, and then it didn't. And they're like, "Uh-oh, we just need to keep going." So I booked next week off for 7 consecutive days. And then I got a really passive-aggressive email where they're like, "Approved, but you're supposed to give us 2 weeks' notice in advance." And I resisted the urge to saying, "You gave me 2 hours in advance on the OT, so I think 1 week of advance is fair." Instead, I just said, "Will do, thank you," and ended it.
I'm just picturing some sort of IT breakfast cereal with the subtitle, "Oops, all crunch."
No, that shit pisses me off. They're like, you have to tell us in advance, but we can pop anything on you that we want.
Mm-hmm.
That reminds me, I took active shooter training today, and 90% of them are either an employee or a family member.
Mm-hmm.
At my first job, we had the schedule came out every week, but we had to request days off 2 weeks in advance. But we only got the schedule for work the day before it went into effect.
Yep, I still live with that. It is aggravating.
Want to know the quickest I've ever heard that I was going to be doing overtime? 3 minutes before clock out. 3 minutes.
Yeah, I've done that before, and you probably have it worse than me because your overtime is like what, 12 hours?
Yeah, 12 hours. I get off at 9:30 at night.
Yeah, the worst I ever had to do was when I worked at Walmart, and I pushed a couple 12-hour days working in the deli, and then I looked at my paycheck when I finally got it. It looked exactly the same as when I didn't do overtime hours, because when it put me just over that limit of taxation. I'm like, well, I'm never doing this again.
Yeah, I queued the next level. That sucks.
Yeah.
Y'all have got to watch Office Space, that movie.
I
don't think I'll get it because I've never worked in an office.
I think you'll get it. You don't need to work in an office.
No,
So it's not like the actual show, The Office?
No, it's
No,
not like that. It's just a short movie. He does work in an office, but it's just the idea of working at a company where they just dictate anything they want to you.
Next time we have a movie night, we'll have to choose that one then.
No.
All right. So you guys somehow managed to get all your meat back to Zan, or at least outside of Zan. Probably around this time, Nolgrim, the first of the 2 gems, is cut to shape.
Awesome.
It's definitely a lot smoother in design than dwarven chisel work, which, don't know how you feel about that, but it'll function perfectly.
It's something that he has mixed emotions about, but I think he sees it as more of a beneficial quirk or a beneficial approach that perhaps could try to adopt into dwarven make.
So here's a question. I reviewed the old recording, and I specifically said that the box of gems you got from Gnomes of Fastervault were rubies and emeralds. Which did you want to have cut to be in your weapon? A ruby or an emerald?
I'll go ruby.
All right. Are you going to slot it into your pick?
Yeah.
All right. When you slot it into the gem slot of your pick, there's a kind of like light static electricity feeling of the magic coming into the weapon, and there's some dwarven runes that appear along the handle, the pommel, and the head of the weapon that flare in red light for a moment before it dies down. And looks mostly normal, but now the gem is gleaming in it, and I shall give you the handout.
And actually, I just realized my character image does have a green glow to it, so is it okay if I retcon to an emerald?
Yeah, sure. Same thing, except it flashed with green.
Perfect.
So I should have just given you guys the Relic of the Ancient Smithy handout.
Neat.
Oh, sure. Give the magic weapon guy another magical weapon.
I mean, hey, he could hand it to you.
I'm sure I would do very well with a pick that uses strength.
Mm.
Just be a class where you make your own.
Everyone should be able to see the effect now. So
Mhm.
Okay, so it has a finite amount of uses per gemstone.
6 charges.
yeah,
Does it treat it as a +1 weapon, or is it still just a mundane weapon, just with the option
It's
of?
considered magical for bypassing damage, but it is not a +1 weapon.
Okay. Good to know.
Though the ability to as like a smite, add extra dice onto damage on a hit is still a pretty big deal.
Yeah, that's super nice.
It's a little mini spider.
Mhm.
It's actually a scaled down version of one of my favorite weapons, which was the Staff of Striking. Staff of Striking.
Give me a
is
second.
because-
It doesn't seem to say whether I could choose to use it before or after the damage or the attack roll.
If it doesn't say it, I meant it to be after it hit. So
Okay. So, like, if I knew I got a critical hit, then I could get that sweet bonus die.
Yep, you can double down, and it just never regains charges. You have to fit a new gem into it.
Sounds good. I like
And
it.
you can only expend a maximum of 3 charges per attack.
Yeah. Excellent. Good to know.
Mhm.
I like it.
That's pretty cool for 10 gold pieces.
Yeah, for sure.
Does any ruby polished in the right way work?
It has to just be cut to fit it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
As well as,
even though we're getting them now, it's still super beneficial for me to get these jeweler's tool
Yeah.
efficient with.
So you can redo them in the future if we
Yep,
get
yep.
more gems.
yep, because if you scroll down, you see that different gem types do different damage types.
Mm-hmm.
And it does require it to.
Okay. Well, I think I have the pick permanently attuned. Well, I don't know if it's necessarily attuned. I'm trying to see what the grudge blade weapon is.
I'm fine saying that it's attuned to you now. It's just it specifically states that when you slot out a new gem, you need to reattune to it to get the magical effects again.
Gotcha.
So it's just a short rest.
Oh, so he couldn't hand it to Fergus and Fergus take a swing and
Exactly.
use it.
That makes sense.
And then it if you're like in the middle of a dungeon and you used its last charge and the gem crumbled, even if you had another one prepped to fit into the slot, you need to take a short rest for it to power back up.
Gotcha.
That makes sense.
No
I feel like we're
tactical-
talking about this in character about how you guys figured out how these things work, and again, what am I gonna do with a pick?
Yeah, you could fight like a dwarf. There's an idea.
No thanks. I prefer to have my alcohol inside of me instead of on my face.
I'm gonna take a quick fire real quick, and then we'll jump back. So, one moment.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pee in their fungus field.
Hey, it'll probably be good nutrients.
It might just be having been up since 2 this morning, but it feels like we've been gone longer than an hour and a half.
No, I'm so fucking like I can feel the drugs leaving my system now. I'm like I want to pass out, but I don't want to because we're in the middle of the game. So I feel you.
Yep.
I am back.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what else we're waiting for, but I will say, I think the good place after I watched that last season yesterday, because yesterday I kind of called out out sick for work, and I was just kind of doing my thing and just chilling. I think it's actually replaced Futurama as my favorite show ever.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's very well made, and I generally kind of just ignore sitcoms for the most part because most of them are just so predictable.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're good for a laugh if they're just on when you're doing something. But this one actually had a story from start to finish too, which is nice. That and then I like about a month ago actually, me and Laura watched this movie on Netflix called The Babysitter.
Mhm.
It's in particular, it makes me think something you would really like, Gombo, because it makes me think of those old like '80s, not really horror, but kind of like teenage horror movies.
Oh yeah.
And they have a sequel to, and both of them were good, which is always nice to see when you see a sequel.
Oh, I know the movie. It took me a second. My brain was buffering, but I know the movies you're talking about now. Yeah.
But they seem very up your alley.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, I still love Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That's such a great twist on the concept.
It really is.
That's why I remember before you guys seen, I recommended to you guys so many times. Because it's just, you don't expect it when you first turn it on. And then it's like, oh, everyone just thinks they're the bad guys because they're rednecks.
Right.
But it's great because they're such actually like genuinely nice people.
But
No, the one's like a little bit of a dick, but
but you could certainly see it from the opposite side. You know how they're the redneck genuine attempts to be friendly and all that are taken as oh god, this is freaking threatening as hell.
y'all going up to the lake?
Yeah, I
Walks
love,
up with a scythe.
I love the one scene where the girl that constantly gets knocked out wakes up in their cabin and the door opens up and he's holding food and she starts freaking out and he goes, "Okay, you don't like eggs. I'm so sorry. I'll go make you something else."
Right.
And that's her first idea that, wait, are they not evil? It's very good.
Mhm.
Also, all the accidental deaths.
Right.
What are we gonna do? Go to the police? Well, geez, officer, we're sorry. We were just minding our own business, and all these college kids snuck onto our property and started killing themselves.
Threw himself into a wood chipper. I love when he is taking the chainsaw to the log, hits the beehive, and is just running like a madman through the forest with the chainsaw.
Oh man.
What is this y'all are describing?
Dale and
you
Tucker
ever
versus Evil.
Yeah.
Dale and Tucker. All right,
It's a Netflix
You
movie.
think
Oh,
it makes
you
fun of
have to
rednecks?
watch it. It
I mean,
is so good.
It makes fun of some rednecks, but it also makes fun of like
Horror
hillbilly
movies.
country horror, where it's just the people that everyone assumes are the slasher villains are not.
Yep.
And put, if you didn't hear me earlier, on your list, go ahead and put The Babysitter. It's on Netflix as well.
No, thank you.
It's
that
actually
like
a really
a-
good movie. It's not as bad as it sounds.
It's also not about
horror
babies.
movie, babysitter, child abduction. No, thank
Nope.
No, it's not.
None of
It's
the
not like
above.
that at all.
you. Okay.
I promise it's not about child abduction or anything like that.
Mhm.
That's like when I convince my wife to watch something, and her first question is always, "Do any animals get hurt?" And I'll convince her to watch a movie called Lions to Lambs or something, and the lion dies at the end, and I had totally forgotten.
Nope.
She never forgave me.
What do you consider an animal? Because that runs the category.
Oh yeah,
Like-
humans don't count. You can kill all the humans you want. In
No,
front of
no,
her.
but I mean, like, what about Avatar?
Yeah, she doesn't watch weird shit like that.
Yeah,
I love Avatar, but she calls it weird shit.
it's a little weird. But anyway,
Yes.
sorry.
Back to our weird ass game.
I just find the
I'm sure
message of that
Cope's-
movie very heavy-handed.
I'm sure Cope's wife gives no end of shit to him about playing this game too. So
She knew who I was when I was little. We've known each other forever, so she knew I played Dungeons and Dragons before we got married. She was actually cousins to the boy that I used to play with.
gotcha.
We're probably related. I think I told you.
I mean, it is whatever country, city, state, or whatever you live in.
State.
I live in a city-state?
I mean, the South is essentially that.
There is Athens nearby.
I mean, it is on
And
the
Rome.
same planet.
Rome is only about an hour over there.
All right, so okay, let's see what we got on the dock.
Atlanta does sound very close to Atlantis.
Yeah. We are going to be underwater in a few years.
No, you'll be beachfront property. I'll be underwater.
Okay. The last
You're just gonna
off-topic,
split off and sink.
the last off-topic thing I need to share with you guys, and then we'll get back to the game. Is someone made? I have the PDF for it. A parody setting for 5th edition that is basically fantasy modern day United States. And it's all done as a joke, and everything's exaggerated. For example, the section of the country that is the Midwest is called Midwesteros. Seattle is Seattled. Washington is Washtown. And they give very extensive firearm rules. The name of this mythical kingdom is called Merca, of course.
Of course. What do they do with Texas?
They only focused on the coasts in this first book, but they're working on the supplement PDF on Kickstarters right now, which is where they explore the mythical city of Flavor City, guarded by the Flavor Knights, led by Sir Guy Fieri.
Richard.
Yeah,
Yes. I'll have to run that set in.
Yeah, I will. Once it comes out, I'll send the PDFs to you because the first book has lots of some political jokes, but you can easily avoid those. One of my personal favorite things they're coming out in this new setting. It's the perfect dungeon. Is that there is this mythical dungeon that exists over all of Merca, tunnels running underneath it with countless openings that appear in cities randomly, called Wall Moria. You can find any item in Wall Moria, but if you delve too deep and if you stay there too long, the worst possible fate can occur to you. You become an employee in Wall Moria.
Oh, nice.
I'm just stuck on Sir Fieri possibly banishing people to the flavor mines.
Yes. It's a generally fun setting, and they put in class archetypes which are generally not only funny but also surprisingly balanced. There's a Warlock archetype, patron of the crowd, where you get your Warlock powers because so many people are your fans. Also, they have Barbarian who walks the path of gains.
Well, I declare this setting cash money, but we should probably go back to our game.
Yes, I'll send you the PDF later. Anyway, so yeah, you guys aren't really getting called into the Alchemist, it seems, this first day. Reverb.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
So,
I guess I just keep working with whatever alchemists that are going to help train me.
definitely, you can keep advancing your time. So, unless there's anything else you guys want to do, we can skip to the next day.
Sounds
That's
good.
fun.
All right. Hope's keeping track of the rations.
No, I wasn't. What day is this now? Day 3?
This
Okay.
would be the second day of this session.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then
We
I
also
was.
have to start curing our other meat that we just got. So
Yeah. I imagine that's what Cope will do today.
And you don't need to cure it to trade it to the Zan if you plan on doing any of that.
I didn't think about doing that. Do we want to go ahead and buy the other 4 potions of climbing? Does seem like they would be.
I think he hasn't reduced it from what it was.
Uh,
All the potions of healing are gone. There's only 2 potions of climbing.
I
everything else is the same.
definitely reduced the number of potions of healing from what
Not from today. I bought up the rest of them with Ivy.
You bought more? Okay,
Yeah.
Then there's 0 potions of healing left, and
there's 2 potions of climbing left, and then everything else is the same.
yes.
Why don't we go ahead and buy all the potions of climbing, and I'll just take 150 or 15. I'll take off the meat.
Yeah.
So, were you just gonna wait for us to notice the Oreed following us behind us with the spreadsheet?
I was trying to think of a funny way to say that, but Michael, you beat me to it. Turns out we just never left any tracks because there's been some guy behind us sweeping the dirt.
Yes, Copen is turning into the Stan Lee of the Pixel Buddies cinematic universe.
Despite my forceful attempts to make that Nicken.
Ow, fuck.
You said this city is old, right? That means there must be a lot of dust to sweep up.
He almost turned into that guy from Family Guy just now.
Oh man. So yeah, when you guys are out in the city. Oh yeah, it's a new day. Anyone who's spending time in the city, which I guess in this time would just be Fergis and Nolgrim, since most of you were out hunting. Constitution saving throws.
Yerp.
Yep, you're both good. You're getting some nice high rolls on those, and the advantage.
Now, how long does it take us to be immune to Zan poison?
Well, it's not so much a poison as much as it's just not for non-Zan consumption.
An
Oh god, it's their
allergen, I think,
poo,
would
isn't
be
it?
best qualification, right?
What?
More of a allergen than anything, perhaps?
Yeah, definitely. Wait until you get the mumps. Eventually some Zan guards come and find each of you to gather you up to the throne of the alchemist.
Okay. Probably a company.
Yep. You're led to a side room outside of the main room where you know the alchemist is.
Like, they went and found all of us, or just some of us that were in the city?
Probably, like, would you say that you wanted to gather up anyone?
Yeah.
They'd okay, yeah, then they'd gather up everyone if you just told them where to find them.
Yeah. Be like, I'll go, and could you send somebody to go retrieve the others that are outside the gates or something like that? And then, of course, Nolgrim. I'm sure they would find him too in the city.
Yeah.
They take you to like a little side room, and one of the Zan guards informs you that when you're ready, you're going to be taken in to meet with the alchemist again. He has been deliberating on the topic that you have brought to the floor, and he wishes to know of any additional arguments or evidence that you have compiled in the intervening time before he delivers his own statements or thoughts on it.
Wait, could you repeat that? I was muted coughing.
Yeah, no problem. You're gonna be when you're ready. You're gonna be brought before the alchemist again. And you're given this time on your own to compile any sort of additional evidence or arguments that you might have accumulated in the 2 days since you last spoke. To throw an addition before to try to affect what the alchemist is going to say. Basically, if this was a trial, this would be your shot at a closing statement. If you're trying to convince them to work with the Skizral.
Nolgrim mentioned it. May want to try to bring up the notion of quelling any sort of drow presence in this area. That
I believe we brought that up last time. We could reiterate, but I know we talked about that before.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt at the very least to give them, working towards a common goal.
We could also bring up that there seems to be some common threats that they both face. We could bring up the weird monolith we found that had the zombies around it that included Zan zombies. Without having to worry about the Skizrael and their war between each other, they could focus more on these imminent threats that could affect them more, especially if they're more worried about their neighbors.
Alright. Skizrael webs would do a good job hemming in them zombies.
Could there be any trade between them that we could think of?
What do we out of character stuff? What do we know of what the Skizrael have? They have their silks and their tapestries.
Just about to say you could present the stolen sheets.
Yeah. Freya did see some Zan trying to weave fabrics out of mycelial fibers, but they are 100%, even without touching them, going to be nowhere near the quality of Skizrael silks.
And then there's the question of what would the Skizrael want from the Zan for trade?
I think the Skizrael were pretty much on board with the peace.
Yeah, but it would also, these are very practical-minded people, the Zan, and one-sided trade would make no sense to them.
They did like beautiful things, and they don't have thumbs, so...
I wouldn't bring that up. The Zan seem to hold contempt towards things that are purely aesthetic. But I think the Skizrael could probably benefit from certain alchemical reagents and just the alchemical devices that
they could also maybe need some poisons that the Skizrael can make. Maybe some trade of hunting parties or something, like materials that they don't need from one party. They might be able to trade with the others.
And I dare say, well, I guess both are, solid hunters. But
so this is gonna sound weird, Gombo, but bear with me.
Yeah.
Is there a role I can make that, since I've been in the town for long enough, that something here that I might have seen that seems like the Skizrael could have used, or vice versa, when we were in the Skizrael home, if we saw something here that might have fit really well in their location, that they seem like they could be useful of any kind? Because I'm not a smart person, but my character is.
Yeah. Give me an insight roll, and I'll think of something.
Okay.
Yeah, with a 5, it's probably what you can
so
think about.
Don't worry about it.
Toothbrush!
Out of characters, I'll let you know I'm adding a lot of detail to this because the original AP just said they can maybe form an alliance. That's it.
Right.
I'm like, gee, thanks for the step-by-step breakdown of that, pal.
And it may not hurt to mention that it is possible, now that the gnomes have discovered their lost village, that it could become another presence, another nation within here, and with that brings about opportunities for trade, and it would be good to set out at least a groundwork of a truce so that you could make trade with a ally that is more or
Also-
less along the border there.
This is just spitballing. This is a theory. Miku seemed really interested in those bogs on that island, correct?
Yeah.
And the
island.
Zan have really, really durable and strong webbing. Perhaps a trade that could be opening up the idea of them working together to build a bridge to the island so the Zan can go back and forth to these bogs. Like, because the Zan could probably make some kind of webs, from the top down to make like almost like a rope bridge until they can make it a more solid version of itself.
A definite suspension bridge opportunity.
And then again, if like they obviously know of the bog now from Miku, and they don't seem like the type that are going to be avid sailors. So that could be a proposal we could bring up that maybe is an idea. Again, this is all completely spitballing.
It might not hurt to see if we could bring a character. I'm trying to remember what our Zan buddy's name was.
Miku.
See if we could bring Miku in to discuss what he found on the Gnomish Island as well, to kind of help sweeten the pot in a way that we wouldn't have the insight to comprehend.
Well, I know he spoke to the alchemist before
Okay.
we had arrived, so the alchemist probably already knows of it.
That is fair. Then yes, I think that would definitely be a solid approach to you.
At least we have a couple options of kind of bringing up. Like we could bring up the risks in the area, like the monolith that we found, the giant that just roams around the fucking nation. They could have some kind of early warning system for that, and then the idea of making a bridge of some kind so they can maybe expand out of the one city into two. I'm sure the gnomes wouldn't be opposed to sharing as long as they are open to trade.
I think that's a solid approach to go with as well. I'm sure the scourge that is the giant that looms around here is something that both tribes face. Perhaps as an alliance they'd be better suited to, if not take it down, at least work together to track its motions and keep everybody up to date to its location so hunting parties can keep avoiding.
So, unless anyone else has any other ideas, I guess that's probably what we're going to be going with.
Just let me know.
So I guess we'll go ahead and go in when they usher us.
Okay. You emerge out into the main chamber of the Throne of the Alchemist.
You're a little quiet, Gombo, by the way.
Sorry. Better now?
Yeah.
Yep.
You emerge out into the main chamber of the Throne of the Alchemist. It's much how it was before, with the central lectern where the alchemist is still standing. However, rather than a bunch of everyone's there, if you want to be, Thrum. Rather than a bunch of Zan busying about experiments, they've arranged into the various spectator boxes along the walls, and they seem to be watching everyone enter. This is definitely a very a public trial. Is not what this is, but it definitely gives you that congressional feel. As you're
Meeting
entering,
with the council kind of thing.
yeah, definitely. As you're entering the room, the outer perimeter is lined with Zan guards that have the closest thing that you've ever seen to a Zan wearing of a uniform, which is just a sash, and they are banging their spears on the ground in a rhythmic pattern as you guys come in.
Oh, hell, what'd you two do while we were gone?
We partied so hard.
Yeah.
Turns out when you eat a Zan, you get really fucked up, man.
Well, if I'm going to be put to death for it, sorry I wasn't there.
with no word or gesture from the alchemist or anyone else, the entirety of the clanging of the spears comes silent all at once. The same cloud of spores hanging in the air all around you. Apparently, some of the alchemist's rapport spores were already in the air because he begins speaking in your head immediately. And he says, I have summoned you forth to proclaim my thoughts and examinations upon your argument. You will be allowed now to propose any new informations or arguments before deliberation is given.
Do you need us to act it out, Gombo, or can we just say that we tell them about the ideas we talked about?
You can blah blah it unless there's anything fancy you want to add, and can give me a persuasion.
I just don't want to have to go through the entire rigmarole again.
Yeah, no problem. Sometimes
first we would touch base on the basically the way Fergis would start is it would start with the threats that both people face, like the zombies, the giants. We would talk about the monolith a little bit. Then from there we would go into the possible trades, like the silks that the Skizrael make. While we don't know the possible trades that the Skizrael might need from them, I'm sure there is something. And then we talk about the idea of maybe working together to make a direct path to the island, and then mention again about the swampland there that Miku resonated with. This seems like an excellent location for the Zan to either expand to or at least explore. If I'm missing anything, anyone else can feel free to chime in.
I think that's everything I could think of.
All right. Give me a persuasion.
Oh, natural one incoming.
Oh,
Hey, good. That's pretty good.
Nice.
23.
For those of you watching, Fergus outlines the points that you guys previously discussed. Certainly lacking the more curt and direct sort of speech patterns of a true noble. No, sorry, I'm dispersing the words here. Of a traditional dwarven noble, he has a little bit more of a easy charm and an eloquence that, while you might recognize as a little bit more human in origin, it does seem to move the room a little bit. Zan are not always the easiest to read, but even some shifting and not murmuring, some motion in the surrounding boxes of observers is a pretty universal sign.
One of them turns a different shade of mushroom.
Different shade of mushroom, yes. As you bring your argument to a close, nice roll, by the way.
Yeah.
The alchemist speaks again and says, your arguments are well put and valid. I shall now give my declaration upon my own study and speaking with the sages of the College of Dreams. The rules of survival state that you must always do what is best to further your current situation, work with what you have, and to acquire. Well, the rules of discovery and alchemic advancements sometimes entail that risks must be taken, even if the unknown, for the results could be worth it. With the arguments that you have laid out here this day, the Zan people will move forward on meeting the Skizrael upon middle ground for diplomatic negotiations.
Yep. So I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure if anyone else adds anything, but I would bring up the details about the area Taskill set up for a common ground that's almost exactly in the center of the 2 points that's on the north end of the water. And if that's not permissible enough, we do have the option of going and retrieving the gnomes and having them basically use the giant boat as a neutral meeting ground.
The location is suitable. I will attend the meeting personally, but the leader of the Skizral must do so as well. No mediums or diplomats. If a bond is to be formed between our peoples, it must be leader to leader. The question I, the alchemist of Zan, and all the people of Zan collectively have for you, outsiders to the jungle, is what are you prepared to do to make this meeting happen? What safety and assurances are you prepared to provide for this proposal that you have brought to the throne of the alchemist?
Nolgrim will step forward and say, as we are the arbiters of this meeting, I would vow to put my life on the line to ensure the peace and safety of those who are in attendance, and ensure punishment is delivered to those that break the peace.
We will also assure you of any protection otherwise, whether from the Skizrel or from an outside source, whether it be the drow, wildlife, or any other such threats that might pose an issue.
Hey, that'd be a thing of legend.
Oh yeah.
Both sides team up, and that would be something for the for the lore books right there.
Battle of 4 armies against a giant.
Very well. You shall be the messengers to the Skizral's lair to inform them of the meeting. I, along with my entourage, shall personally set out from Zan to the meeting ground that you have designated in 9 days.
Okay, so that means that means we need to book it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can we go back to the big map?
Yep, no problem.
Good thing we found that boar.
Yeah, because they're going to set out in 9 days. So
We could, if we go full speed, we could take 2 hexes a day, right?
Yep, if you go fast pace.
but that also poses risks too.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think we could probably take a few fast days a day of rest, and then that way we don't push ourselves to breaking point, but we make good time.
It takes 12 days to get there. So if we took it 1 day at a time to get there, 3 days away from Skizrael's territory, they would leave Zan to meet at the meeting place, which would...
Yeah, because he said he'd leave in 9 days, and then it's still going to take them 7 days.
Yeah, so if we double tile move the first couple days, we can go at a normal pace after that and still get food for Eski and everything, and still make it back to the meeting place with time to spare.
I would still like to make sure that we have at least 1 day, or possibly 2, with the Skizrael to make sure that we are able to convince them and meet the time
Let's
limit.
see. 1, 2.
Yep.
So if we double moved, it would take 10 days to get to Skizrael's territory, and they would be out 1 day. 1, 2. Okay, so we'd probably want to double move like the first 3 days then, and then we'd have like a day or two in the Skizrael area if we have to, and then still be able to make it without much delay.
Yep. Yep.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay.
So we would basically get there right when they're leaving.
Yep. And that would give us really 2.5.
It would give us 1 day for us to leave and meet up exactly at the same time. It's really up to you guys.
Aren't these scorpions big enough to hook up to the cart at this point?
They are.
Ooh, so could we double time rotating the scorpions and Esky and
Have rotating shifts of sleep on the cart, maybe?
yeah?
Although, have we trained the scorpions to pull yet?
Yeah,
Not
that
yet.
is the question, though.
I mean,
Also, aren't we going to
Thrum's
kill
been
one and
trained.
keep the other for the scorpions?
I
Isn't
think
that
we
what
should
the plan was?
have both on there, or be able to rotate.
We could
you'll
probably
need both
have
the-
both on there.
Yeah, you'll need both to pull the cart because they're not
Here
pack
is
animals.
the question. I know we have been training them. How trained are they?
They're not attacking everything that it comes across now. So progress.
I lost connection there for just a minute, so I didn't hear.
They're not attacking everything they come across now. So, but they're not quite pulling the cart.
Okay, well, then we head out with Esky to start.
Okay,
What?
cool.
I can see the end of Esky times in our future.
Oh, Ivy's going to be so sad.
Do we want to go this route, and so we could explore while we're...
That'll go through the cursed bog area, and do we want to explore in case we get held up by something?
No, I'd rather.
That's the question.
Yeah, I would
That's
go
true.
the way we know at this point.
Okay.
Finally,
so
have something that makes sense.
Finally, a what?
Finally, have something that's pulling the cart that makes sense
Yeah.
instead of just the giant cow.
all right. If you guys leave the Throne of the Alchemist, you immediately head out to your cart. You see at the gates, not barring your way, but you just notice there is a larger than a hunting party of Zan. It's around maybe 36 or so Zan with spears seeming to be mustering up at the gate. And you notice amongst them, kind of seeming to be in an leader organized role, is Biku.
Yeah, I'll go hell him down and see what's going on.
Mm-hmm. He releases the spores to commune with you. Says then, your meeting with the alchemist went well. It's more of a statement than a question.
Indeed it did. It seems like the group of you are gathering up a sizable force. Is this going to be the troop that's going to travel with the alchemist, or are you all destined for somewhere else?
In conjunction with recent experimentation, as well as the first-hand reports that I was able to retrieve with you, we are being dispatched to move at the Cursed Bog. We have an apothecary that we are escorting to examine the obelisk to see what is going on with it. I do not know what timetable you are moving on, but I could always use your assistance.
I'll turn to everyone else. Do we have time for a slight detour?
I think so. We could make our double time movements later
Yeah,
during the
rather than
trip.
the start. If
we go help them with the cursed bog, we'll just double time as long as we have to, and then when it starts getting low on supplies, then we'll start moving at a slower pace.
And at the very least, it may not be, if we are successful at the obelisk but think we need a bit more time, we could always send word back with the forces and see if they could push back the date that they leave by another day or two.
Hey, just looking at our mushrooms, I think we've got plenty. We've got plenty of supplies to take it in double time when we need to.
Especially once we get the scorpions trained, we won't need the mushrooms anymore.
Quiet, she can hear you.
Which one? I point to the cow and the one riding it.
Both out of earshot.
Yeah.
I guess they are both girls. You're going to be breaking that news there, laddie.
Oh, no, I will not.
What if we feed it to her first and then tell her?
That's what we'll go.
I am camping away from everybody that night. Just FYI.
I mean, it's bloody good meat could
I
change.
mean, if you're gonna kill it, you're gonna tell her that we're doing it, because I am not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Out of character, did I tell you about the time my mom did that to my cousin?
Probably didn't end well.
It was years ago. My cousin was probably in his mid-teens, and we were visiting a family in West Virginia, and he was holding, this, pet bunny because my family had, just a pen full of rabbits, and just, petting the bunny, and my mom, offers him what looks like a chicken wing, and says, "Here, try this." So he takes a bite of it and says, "It's pretty good. What is it?" Mom says, "His mom." He
Oh
puts
my God.
a bunny in his hands.
Was it really?
I don't know if it was the mom, but it was definitely a bunny that
Right.
that they slaughtered from that same pen.
Oh.
Oh man.
Yep. Super dark.
I've told y'all the chicken wing story.
No?
I guess not. Went to visit friends of mine who are very southern, and they were all living together in a trailer during college. And I walk in and I speak to Brian, was on the couch eating chicken wings. He was like, "You can have one if I have any leftovers." And I was like, "All right." I'm saying hey to everybody because I hadn't seen anybody in a while. And then I hear from the back room, "Don't eat the chicken wings." Later on, I find out they're squirrel.
Oh, yep. Now I remember that. I'm hearing that from you. I don't know. The weirdest thing I've ever had is alligator. But moving on. It was from Florida. Anyway. Never been to Florida. It just came from there. Or was it New Orleans? Who could remember? Anyway, back to the game.
Yep.
So are you all going to accompany the
troop?
The troop?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Sure.
All right. So because they're a bunch of on-foot guys, they are going to be moving at 1 hex a day speed, so your average speed.
Mhm.
However, with a marshaled force that size, random encounters really aren't going to be a thing.
Mhm.
So if you guys are good with it, we can just fast forward to you getting there, and I'll just put it on one day.
That works.
4 more days of rations.
Did you want to go through this
3 more, I
one?
think.
Yeah, did you want to go through this one hex that you haven't explored yet, or did you want to just go along the path that you know?
Yeah, we might as well go through this one
Yep.
and then here.
Okay.
I
Miku
think
is
a group of Zan is called a bushel or a fairy ring.
I was just thinking the same thing. I didn't know the names, but I knew that. I'm like, what would we call a group of Zan?
Yeah, what is a like a group of fungus?
Fairy ring.
That's a specific growth pattern of fungus.
They come in a circle. We had one, and I told my daughter that, and she was like, "What?"
3. Okay, so that's 3 days. So if you're keeping track, Cope, that's 3 days.
I suppose a moldering of Zan would work too.
I would call them a rave because they're all pretty fun guys.
Yeah.
Rave.
Nice. I was trying to think of what do you call a group of hippies?
A bad time.
A bad smell.
Or a good time, depending on how much you're smoking.
A trip of Zan.
Day.
I actually like that one.
Y'all, I hate to say it, but we just finished the last of our cheese.
Oh no.
Oh man.
Nelsky.
Fergis. No, please.
I'm sure Ivy swiped the last piece.
Oh, absolutely.
Guaranteed.
Just getting this.
You mean I gotta eat the same dirt and shit as you guys now?
I mean, we still have 23 pounds of nuts.
Yeah. We're only eating 0.2 pounds of nuts every day, so they'll last a while.
Our lemons are probably moldy as hell right now.
You're in the place for it, that's for certain.
We just start chucking the seeds. Maybe they'll grow underground.
Oh yeah, we should keep them.
We should have dried them out, made little lemon raisins.
I mean, I'm sure that's probably what we're eating right now.
Yeah, we're probably just
Some moldy lemon raisin.
you'd cut off the mold on the outside and just chew on the rind.
What was
We're
the
gonna get
joke?
so much fantasy scurvy.
What was the joke I heard? When life gives you lemons, rebrand them as special oranges and sell them for double the cost.
When life gives you lemons, turn them into grenades.
What?
Yeah, that's a Portal 2 reference. When life gives you lemons, make life take the lemons back. Demand to see life's manager. Oh yeah. By the way, that's another thing from that Merca setting that I think you guys would find funny. One of the evil gods is the evil god Karen.
Yes.
All right, so I will move you guys over to the combat map again. Then I'll switch over the music.
Dun, dun, dun.
All
The
right.
patron god of soccer.
So here we go here. So I'm trying something a little experimental in this combat that might influence future mass combat, how it works. So what it is that it's just going to be you guys. I'm not going to roll for a whole bushel of extra Zan or Miku. However, I'll bring up the initiative tracker and I'll show you. There is going to be this. It'll happen on initiative 20 like a layer action would. And they are just kind of representing the passive Zan warriors that are helping you. Like thematically, they're all amongst you, and you're like the middle. But I'm just not keep moving all those tokens.
Yeah.
I'm gonna refresh real quick because for some reason my internet's going really slow and it's giving me fits. So you guys can start rolling for initiative while I'm doing this.
I will say though, Gombo, I'm glad that you've comfortable around us enough that you're willing to experiment.
Ta-da.
I'll try anything once, except for that.
I mean, we've seen you play Nasserim, and you'll try everything multiple times.
Says the one that played Bogomil.
Hey, that's because I ran out of things to do with him. I had no idea what to do. So I just made him a pervert, because that's the go-to thing.
When in Rome.
Also, but I still think the best quote was like, I remember when I was elbow deep into the frog.
Yep. Looks
I
like
remember when Nasserima overheard what was happening and was like, "This is too much for me," and left.
Go.
It ain't easy being green.
Thus the
There we go.
thus the Gripply race was born.
Yeah, there's secretly this underground Gripply army that's just gaining forces, and they're all related. So they're not going to get that many forces because eventually genetics are going to catch up to them.
Actually, didn't they all get crumbled on when the horn came down?
If they still stayed there, it really depends.
Yeah, I think it all collapsed on them.
Don't be killing my characters' babies.
Yeah.
Your whole race.
I thought we brought the Gripplies into the
Yeah.
sewer, hence the shredder joke.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did.
I distinctly remember leaving them in a sewer under one of the cities.
After he taught him kung fu.
Yeah.
Yep. I taught them the basics of Kung Fu and then left them in the sewers, never to return.
That's when they met Micken.
Oh god, it's canon now.
I do
He's
actually
not going to
plan-
use them for good purposes.
I do actually plan on bringing Micken into the one of the APs eventually. I do
Yeah.
like the idea of the one where you're raiding a pyramid. That feels like something Micken would be in.
That one or the Ruins of Aslant would probably be a good one.
Mhm.
You may wonder why the Gripply were interested in what Micken had to say. It is because he introduced them to pizza.
Not the Za.
All right, so you'll be happy to know that the spawn rate for the zombies is going to be a little lower now that you got Zan helping you. So the primary objective here is, and you've discussed this with Miku and Lot, is you see right here next to you, you have a Zan apothecary. He is going to examine the obelisk. So you're going to need to protect him to get him there.
Is he on the initiative rolls, or?
He will move on the Zam army's turn of 20.
Gotcha.
If you guys want him to, he can delay his move.
Okay. What's his movement speed?
30 feet.
30 feet. Okay.
All right, so we will skip the army action for the first turn since we're just opening up. So Thrum.
All right. Well, can I move through?
Rather than me tracking this, sorry, 1 second.
Going into this ahead of time, would I have been able to cast Armor of Agathis?
Yeah, this is definitely a fight that you can do all your buffs prep for. I just shared with you guys a handout called Zan Army Actions. You guys should be able to see that.
Mhm.
This is one of those handouts I'll hide from you after this encounter. But so the rule is that you can't do the same action 2 turn, or I think you can't do the same layer action until they've all gone.
Okay.
In this case, I'm gonna say except for the stun spore cloud, because everyone except for you guys are immune to that, and I feel like everyone would be smart enough to know that.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to do a spear volley, a targeted spear volley, and then a melee surge.
And just to verify, undead aren't immune to it since it's a Constitution saving throw?
This isn't Pathfinder. They
Okay.
don't have any sort of immunities based upon their type.
Just wanted to make sure, because I
Yep,
wasn't sure how that worked out.
They're like immune to poison sometimes,
Yeah.
but not always.
Yeah, that these ones, because they're both undead and immune to poison, because they're fungus. So yes, Thrum.
You
All
already
right,
moved.
so Thrum double moves there and then enters his rage.
All right.
I assume it's been a day since our boar fight, right?
It's been 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah, 4 days actually. All right. So Ivy.
I'm going to try to stealth behind this giant mushroom.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. No zombie will ever see that.
And she's going to hold her attack until this one gets a little closer.
Gotcha. Nolgrim.
Nolgrim will run up and run up there and ready an attack with a Eldritch Blast for when an army or when an enemy emerges.
Gotcha. Task.
Mm-hmm. Guess I will double move on up. That's double move, so.
Okay. Freya.
Okay. So, do we have a plan for this water?
It's less
Nope.
water, more of thick, viscous gunk.
How deep?
Oh, that makes
Do we know?
better. That makes better.
These zombies appear to be just like no, it's not up to their knees.
Okay. They just kind of
Like
emerge
half-
from it. It's not so much they're swimming up out of it. They just
Yeah,
kind of rise from it. Okay.
Yeah, it's like halfway up their calf. So it's
Okay.
difficult terrain, if nothing else.
All right.
Oh,
Put my
Nolgrim.
shield defender up right there.
Spear
move up
formation,
right there.
close ranks.
All right.
Going to count my Gloom Stalker.
Wait, are these guys visible? I wasn't sure if they're.
Yeah, they're visible. You can
Okay.
see.
Then I would take a Eldritch Blast against this one.
Okay. Yeah, do your attack rolls, both of you. That'll
You
hit.
think Gombo would be foolish enough to show us something that we aren't supposed to kill?
I guess I was under the impression that they were underwater because there's depth to this as you go in.
Yep. More will emerge, but just not on the first round.
Yeah.
All right, so Freya, you can take your shot if you're using Gloomstalker.
All right. Normal roll. That's a 20.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
9 damage.
Big hit out of that one. Yeah, just to make it easy, these zombies have an AC of 8, so it should be pretty easy to tell if you hit or not. All right. Zombie turn. That's 10. Yeah, that one can get up on Thrum. This one will have to double move to get to Taskill. This one will double move to there.
And then that one will get shot on by Ivy.
Yep. Go ahead and roll that while I'm calculating this.
This will be at an advantage, I forgot, because she's stealthed.
Yeah, either way it'll hit.
11, yeah. For 11 damage to that one.
Okay. Let's have to tell. And... Okay, all those ones were just double moves. Fergis.
Okay, so it's safe to say these mushrooms that are on the map are all different levels.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to basically double move, run up to this one, jump off of this one onto this one, and then onto this one.
I would say that's an acrobatics to do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep, you succeed. You're not like mega high off the ground. I'll say you're maybe like 10 feet up.
That's fine. I just wanted to get some leverage.
Mm-hmm.
Or elevation, not leverage.
Yeah.
Words I can't say sometimes.
No worries.
And I'm going to fire my short bow at the one next to Taskill.
Okay. That'll hit.
For 15.
All right. It needs to do a DC 20 Constitution save. It's down.
Huzzah.
Oh, I should clear my little bank down here. Keeping track of all the zombos you murder.
As Fergus just yells to in like unison with Nolgrim, like, forward, march!
Oh, whoops.
To the Zan.
Yep. Hold on 1 second. I realized. Where is it? I'm gonna swap this zombie for the one I was supposed to be using to keep track of the token, so I don't accidentally delete it. Ignore that. All right. So I'll remove this fella. All right. So first things first, I'm going to roll to see how many zombies spawn. 4 more join the fray. So 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And now the Zan army can take their action. So you guys can decide amongst yourselves out of character what you want to do.
If they use one of their spear volleys over here, they could either hit 4 of them or 3 of them, depending on which one we choose. Same with down here.
I think start with the non-targeted one, just because cover a bit more, but also, we probably want to save the targeted one for whenever a lot of them are kind of relying on the Constitution saves to staying up.
Yeah. It's important to keep in mind the targeted one. It says 15-foot square, so that's 3 by 3. However, the normal spear volley is a 20-foot radius, so you pick 1 square and it's 20 feet around.
Okay, I think we should choose over here then, because they'll get 4 of them this way.
Well,
unless anyone else has a better plan.
20-foot radius.
And it says all creatures, not just enemies. So if
Yeah.
you're in the blast radius.
This one has to choose between, so it can still hit 4 too, I think.
Yeah.
It'd be good to clear away.
No, this one can only hit 3 here. It wouldn't hit this one no matter what. So it could hit
Okay.
these 4, or we could hit the bottom 4.
I
might
think the
get-
bottom 4.
Yeah, I think the bottom 4.
Yeah, so we
Gets
point
off
that
of them
there and make some commands.
All right.
So someone else can roll damage since I
Oh,
Don't wanna jinx it.
I got damage set up. You're doing the normal volley?
yes.
Yep.
All right. So 6 base damage. And then they need to make some dexterity saving throws. 4 of them. They're not great. Make sure I set it to DC 14. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. They all fail, so they all take 6 piercing damage.
Huzzah.
As the Zan just pitch some spears, and they rain down. All right. Once again, thematically, there's probably more zombies than this, but the Zan are engaging them, so you're not having to worry.
Yeah.
All right, Thrum.
Thrum's gonna shout, "Y'all wait through the bottom ones. I'll keep these ones busy." And it's 5, 10, 15, 20.
Is the apothecary going to move up, or are we holding
Oh
him
yeah,
back?
right. Sorry. He would double move to be here.
And Thrum's gonna go large.
All right. I assume this way.
Are you going to take the attack of opportunity?
Yeah, he would have sprung one from that guy.
All right. 21.
Ooh, nice hit. Yep.
5 bludgeoning damage, but you're raging, so half to 2. Not too bad.
All right. And he's gonna grab the one that, or attempt to grab the one that hit him.
All right.
And
That's an
that's
attack.
an attack roll, right?
Yep, attack roll and then opposed athletics. I looked up clarification on that.
Okay, so I'm just gonna roll this for attack.
Oh yeah, that'll hit.
Then I've got a grab
Uh,
macro.
I doubt they're gonna fail that. Well, better than I expected, but you still win. So
Yeah,
you
good.
also do your grab damage.
Oh, plus these. So 4 plus 2 for rage would be 6, plus 1d6 for being large would be.
10.
Thank you.
All right. Still standing?
And he's grabbing that guy.
Oh yeah. Give the little grappled icon. There it is. All right. And Ivy.
Probably just going to shoot the one north of Thrum.
All right. And I'll do it. All right. So it
13.
needs to do an 18 to stay up, which it does not get. Another one goes down. Nolgrim.
Since this one's grabbed, does it have? Do I get advantages on melee attacks?
I believe you do. Let me double check the grappled condition. I'm pretty darn certain. I know it has disadvantage on its own attacks, if nothing else. Creature grappled creatures can't benefit from any speed bonus. Conditions ends if the effect removes. It doesn't say. That's weird. Oh yeah, it's restrained that gives advantage on it. Let me see.
I thought it did, but
Yeah, I think I swear it did. I don't know. I'll look it up later. Take advantage for now. What the hell? It's a zombie. It's not a boss. It's not that important.
Ogre will move up here to kind of advance the line, and then take a swing at this guy.
Okay. The blue space is counted as difficult terrain, so yeah.
Okay, so that'll be there. Then take the attack.
Okay.
Advantage.
That'll hit. Not yet. Okay. That it?
I believe so, yep.
Taskill.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, guess I'll move up on that thing. And bonus action there.
That'll hit. Alright, so it's a DC 16 Constitution saving throw. It fails.
Ooh.
So, you grab the top of this thing's torso with your stony hand there, Thrum, and then your allies just circle and pinata it to death.
Damn it, y'all move south. I was going to use that one. He just lets go of it. It's bones.
That's you're doing, Taskill?
Yeah, moved and got battle axe out. So
Freya.
Try closing ranks there if you can, lass.
All right. So what? Why do you need us to close in?
To make sure we serve as a wall between the zombies and the apothecary.
Okay.
Escort mission. Yay.
Yep.
Hey, at least this one runs.
Yes. Oh, never
right.
mind. It's stuck on geometry.
Well, while they're moving, I will say that is the worst thing about escort missions. They walk faster than you walk, but slower than you run.
Oh my god, why is that a thing?
No,
I'm like, be one or the other.
that in
That's really
in
funny.
Skyrim was the most annoying shit for me.
Mm.
The NPC walk is slightly faster than your walk, but very much slower than your run.
Yes.
So
So you
can
look like a
never keep-
5-year-old walking next to an adult. You take 3 normal steps, then you run 2 steps, then you walk 3 steps, then you run 2 steps.
I forgot what video game it was, but I remember it was an escort mission. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a pain. And they're like, they don't move unless you're directly interacting with them, and then you can control their movement path. I'm like, oh, thank God.
timed underwater escort mission.
In a sewer.
It is functionally a water temple.
And I'll just actually, you know what? I'm going to fairy fire these two.
Okay. Dex saves. 1, 2. 14 and 17?
Let me check.
I think the 17 passes.
I'm pretty sure they both pass. The spell save was 14.
Yep, and they both pass.
Good old low-level DCs.
It's way better in D&D than it is in Pathfinder.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
most definitely.
All right, then
Hey,
that's what
at least all your saves scale instead of just your higher level ones in this one.
Like freaking DC 12 in Pathfinder is like, don't even bother.
Yeah.
All right, zombie time. This one will amble up over here. This one will amble over there. This one's going to double move here. This one's gonna there. Double move. Double move. Double move. Double move. I believe it looks like we got 1 attack on Nolgrim, 1 attack on Thrum, and 1 attack on the Steel Defender.
Sounds
So
right.
Nolgrim, 6 will miss. Steel Defender, 19 will hit, I imagine. for
Yep.
a whopping 2. And then on Thrum,
Every
Yeah,
time.
for 8 damage.
Fortunately, you're raging, so
Yeah.
And he's got temporary hit points because of his ability. So
Yeah, so that comes down to 3.
Have you seen Seinfeld plays D&D, the comic?
Mm.
That does that up, Jerry?
Ukraine is not weak.
Fergus.
I'm gonna target the one that's next to the steel defender.
That hit.
For 12.
12. Not quite enough to bring it down, but it's rough.
Mm-hmm.
All right. First things first. Fresh zombies for the pile. Oh, only 1. Once again, thematically, more zombies are popping up, but
yeah.
you've got an actual attack force backing you up this time.
I think the targeted one should be right here now.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good call.
Try to do some extra damage to these 3.
So here's like a fun little lore tidbit for you guys. You probably are only communicating with Miku, but it's telepathic, and then he's telepathically linked to everyone else. So it's actually
Brain on
surprising,
hive mind.
really
Hive mind.
efficient.
We don't hive mind.
All right, so you it's square attacking those 3.
Yes.
So I will roll the damage to see where we are. 22 piercing
Oh, damn.
damage. Yeah, it's
Those are some high rolls, though.
oh yeah. So let's
6,
see.
6, 7.
Now it needs to do DC 14 dexterity. They are not great with dex, by the way. 1,
You say that, but they got some
2,
pretty good ones against.
3. They all failed.
Oof.
So I'll tell you this now. This is basically they have to get a natural 20 to pass this Constitution saving throw to not be instantly destroyed because it's DC 27.
Huzzah.
Fail, fail, fail. So all 3 of these next to Thrum are just completely annihilated underneath a volley of spears and javelins from the Zan. I guess some of them are thrown, some of them are probably point blank stabbed, but still, it basically just eviscerates them.
Right.
Somehow, one of them comes down vertically.
Mhm.
Like, I'm not talking about the spear, I'm talking about the Zan. Just down vertically onto one of those zombies.
Oh, it's the Dragoon.
I was on the ceiling the whole time.
I've literally dropped half a minute ago and just now landed.
You have no idea the amount of coordination we have.
It's a good thing it landed in knee-deep water, otherwise that could have hurt.
See, that's why they're at war with the Skizrael. They're both competing over that sweet, sweet ceiling territory.
Yeah.
That's where the money hotels are.
That's where the good kush is.
Yep.
Oh man, I just remember that short video where someone's like, "Hey Dad, look, it's the good kush," and he says in a really flat tone, "It's the Dollar Tree. How good could it be?"
Yeah, I love that one.
All right, Thrum.
All right, Thrum, let's go with that crumbling pile of goo that they just bashed and said, now I'll get back to the... And he turns thinking he's going to hit these, and they all just disappeared. Damn it! And so he's going to take a step, wheel around, and double battle axe this guy.
Gotcha. 2 hits.
Not Nolgrim, this
Wait. What? Do you want to attack first so you don't provoke attack?
guy. Sure. Yeah, I'm still kind of learning those.
Yeah, no problem.
Pathfinder, there's no 5-foot step.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but also the apothecary's holding his movement until you guys give him a signal.
Yeah.
We're just trying to clear the way.
Mhm.
Ooh, damn.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, dang.
That hurt.
That's probably going to be a lot of damage.
Mm-hmm.
25.
It's the same situation to that Focus did. They need a natural 20, which they did not get.
It's a little high roll, though.
Oh, yeah.
He got a 21.
Yeah, their
nat 20.
Their
Sorry.
constitution isn't bad. I said it's just, DC 27's kind of extreme.
Yep.
All right, so you just hack that thing into. All right. So that means that you did move without provoking an attack. All right, Ivy.
I'm gonna come up to here and I guess let's see. Shoot the one that's the Steel Defender is on. Also, you know what I've been forgetting to do is use my bonus action as Fergis.
Oh yeah, been doing so well.
Oh, and Gombo, he ignores difficult terrain, so...
Oh yeah, then you're all good. All right, so that will do it. So that's DC 17. Nope, goes down. I don't think they've succeeded one yet.
Yeah, but it's making up for the last time when we did it,
Oh,
where
yeah.
they succeeded every single goddamn one.
Right.
Mhm.
Do you remember the
And-
Ivy fight?
Oh yeah, no, the last time they succeeded every one, and there was just so many more of them popping
Yeah.
out.
There's one walking around here with like 6 of 90's arrows in it.
Yeah, I was going around like, never again. Never again.
All right.
Nolgrim will move there and then attack this guy.
Okay. I'll hit 5 damage.
That's 3 times in a row I rolled minimum damage.
Better than a minimum attack.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Taskill.
Okay, so that one's still up. First things first.
Oh, by the way, those of you standing in the blue pool, it kind of tingles in a not good way. But currently nothing else is happening.
It's that kind of feeling where you know it hurts, but you want to keep doing it to see why it keeps doing that.
I
I don't
can't
have that
say
feeling.
I know what that is. Yeah, it'll hit 9 damage.
It's like when you put your tongue on a 9-volt battery.
What you do in the privacy of your own home is your business.
Or when you put your butt on the 9-volt battery.
That video.
Can't say I've ever done that.
That was hilarious.
I love that. So I
Yeah.
climbed up the roof and put a pole up my ass, and you guys are looking at me. Yep. So it does. It's still standing.
Alright. And for Taskill himself,
Move
so
there,
advance into the water.
just so we could keep.
Yeah,
Well, I
you
guess
can
no,
keep
that's
moving
pretty
down
good.
some.
Making sure you're between them and the apothecary.
Yep.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. So DC 16.
Taskill needed to ask him a question.
Oh yeah, you just hack that thing.
Nolgrim will signal to the Zan to kind of use this alley that they carved to, start moving up.
Okay, so that's 10 feet of movement. He's got 60 total.
The good news, if we
Stay
get
in the
overwhelmed
triangle.
again, Taskill always has his Fear Me Zombies ability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he gets a pretty good distance to the little island. All right.
You pulled out ahead.
Freya.
No, escort zombie, don't go ahead.
Freya.
All right. Let's go ahead.
Just remember to quick save before you told him to move.
Oh man, I still try to
Can we
break that
roll up?
habit in games now where I save
Yeah.
like 5 times.
Yeah.
That file.
It's not because I'm afraid of losing, it's just a weird compulsive thing I have.
All right. So we just got these two. Yeah, I think I'm just going to. How's this difficult terrain though, right? Oh, you can make it though.
It's difficult terrain.
So first is going to be Freya's Gloom Stalker on this one.
Okay. This one right here, to be clear.
Which one?
This one.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. That'll of course hit.
5 piercing.
Damage you've had all day. But yep.
And then the Steel Defender will also attack him. No, I don't think
that that will miss. Yeah.
All right.
Way to go, dog.
All right. So double move. It actually has to double move to. Yep. There's no way it can do it. So it doesn't actually attack the apothecary yet. And then one will attack the Steel Defender. 14. Does that hit? You're muted.
Waggle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm right here.
That fast?
Sorry about that.
No worries. Does the 14 hit your Steel Defender?
I don't think it should, but I'll check. Nope.
Okay, then we're good then. That was Fungus Zombies. Fergus.
Gonna target this one here
Okay.
with a short bow shot.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh. Oh wait, sorry. The 5 is the damage, not the attack roll. Because
No,
someone
yeah.
hit Green Blade in the middle of it.
Yeah. Sorry.
If that does hit, and it'll do 11 damage.
Yes.
And you're attacking the one next to the apothecary, right?
Yes.
All right.
Like,
I'm assuming the apothecary still counts as an ally.
Yes, he does.
I would say that with the Zan's army action, we probably should push this thing away from the apothecary.
Real quick, I now need to roll how many more zombies appear. Ooh, 5 maximum yield.
Oh wait, sorry. While you're doing that,
Oh, yeah.
I would like to use my bonus action to give advantage to Nolgrim.
Tight.
it's fair, because I feel like while you were having your moment, your action, Nolgrim farted.
5. There we go. All right. Zan army action.
They have to use one more still before they can reuse the
Yeah,
volleys.
they have to use the melee surge.
So probably the melee surge to push this one away from the apothecary.
Yeah, to clarify how the melee surge works, you can dictate a 15-foot square, 3x3, and then they are just forced out of that area entirely.
So, yeah, center it directly on the apothecary then.
But it will hit the apothecary if we center it on him, though.
No,
It
won't.
says enemies.
Yeah, it says
Okay.
enemies. That one actually is targeted because
Okay, 20 foot square.
yeah, thematically, it's the troops like forming a blockade and just like pushing people out physically with their bodies. Yeah, hypothetically, you could technically put the apothecary in a corner to see if you can push the zombie.
Actually, yeah.
Because it pushes them out of the designated square. So
if we put it right here, it would push. We're just trying to push it this way. Is really what
Yeah,
we're
so
trying to do.
I would just say center it on the apothecary.
So like, because it's a 20 foot, so it would be like this, I think.
it's a 15-foot.
It says 20 on the thing.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at the spore cloud. My bad. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
if it's a 20-foot, then
It's a 20-foot. Sorry, yeah.
yeah, I think that looks good to me.
Yep. So all these tiles.
Okay. So it would be forced out to here.
Didn't want to take the damage.
It's not smart enough to really weigh the odds there, so it just gets pushed.
Okie dokie.
Yep, and now next time around you can have your selection. And
Does the spore not count?
Normally it would. I did that for posterity. But in this particular fight, I'm not counting because the Zan are immune to it and the zombies are immune to it, and I think they're smart. Everyone's smart enough to know that.
Yeah.
So,
It would only hurt us.
yeah, exactly. So he spends his full movement and he just makes it to the obelisk. He'll begin his examination next time round.
Yeah. Fergis is going to call out to Nolgrim to go back him up.
On it.
Thrum.
Alright, Thrum's gonna swing at this one right in front of him.
That'll hit. For 11. Well. Did you want to shift anywhere?
Yeah, he's gonna shrink back down to normal size
Okay.
and do so out of this guy's range.
Okay.
Then, since he ignores
Difficult terrain.
rain, he's gonna walk to over here. That'll be his turn.
Luckily, I do consider this natural difficult terrain and not magical difficult terrain. So.
Yep.
Because though this sludge is magical, I feel like the fact that it's difficult terrain is a byproduct rather than a desired effect. All right, Ivy.
Probably attacking the one next to the steel defender again.
That'll do it.
13.
13. Health that has. Okay. Needs to pass DC 18. It does. So it's at 1 hit point.
I imagine she curses a lot.
And it's the same one as before.
Yeah.
You just see it littered with arrows on its back.
Alright, so first move 10, 20, 30. Then second move 35.
Wait, I thought you only had 25 feet of movement.
Yeah,
Oh, do
you
I?
only have 25 meters.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be double moving, so
Okay.
10, 20, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. So I could get there. And that will be my turn.
Okay. Taskill.
Much the same for Taskill, but I'll have the hammer fly up there and smack that zombie.
That'll hit.
Smack that all on the floor. Smack that.
Out of curiosity, as a bonus action, can I try to taunt this zombie to try to draw his attention towards me rather than the apothecary?
Sure. Give me a performance. Because I feel like that would be a more
That's about right.
Nolgrim breaking out a song. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey.
It's definitely going to attack the apothecary. Freya.
Well, it is a fungus zombie, so maybe it wants fungus brains more.
Could be.
I guess we'll start out with the. Ooh, I don't like that one being that close. Ooh, but he wouldn't even be able to get within range because of difficult terrain. Okay. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is use the Gloom Stalker on this one right here.
Okay.
Or I'm looking at everything that's happening over here too. I guess I should try to help the apothecary at some point.
Got the point of this mission.
I mean, we're keeping all the extras at bay.
Yeah, let's go ahead and attack this one. I don't want to get
Okay.
within melee of these guys, really.
So, overall on that one
Hit.
stalker, that's a hit. 13 damage. Max damage.
Oh. Well, but it definitely felt that. Smarts. All right, fungus zombie.
Doesn't the steel defender still need to attack?
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah.
He's going to attack this one.
You it.
Do it.
Yeah, it'll hit.
Just do it.
For 6.
So it needs to hit a DC 11. It does exactly. So it's still up. Yes,
No,
this
it's
one
not.
filled with arrows. Now it's zombie turn. So this one is going to melee range, and it'll be able to attack Freya. This one will double move to pile on the steel defender. This one will move on Taskill. This one will move on Thrum.
Fuck.
Brains.
Sorry, I was trying to
Yeah,
hold
that's
it
a
in.
good
'cause I
one.
don't- Well, I wanted to hold it in a little bit because I didn't want to sneeze that violently when I have a tooth
Yeah.
that just got removed.
Mm-hmm.
In there. Feel that. There.
That didn't help much though.
And then this one here, and it will take a swing at the apothecary. So, first things first, on Freya, 14.
Not gonna hit.
All right. Then 2 on the steel defender. 1, 2. I imagine the 21 hits.
Yep.
2 bludgeoning damage.
Another 2.
On Taskill, I know for a fact that does not hit Taskill. He's got the
Which is
highest
crazy
AC.
armor.
And now 1 on the apothecary, which will miss. He's AC 12.
We got this real dwarfy music playing right now. I think we should replace it with the Billy and Mandy brain song Voltaire did.
Yep, I remember that one. All right, Fergus.
I'm gonna shoot the one that's next to Freya.
Okay.
Not technically about zombies, but has the same feel.
So it needs to, needs to pass a DC 16 Constitution, which does.
Oh damn! I am going to then jump down and move to here,
Okay.
and I'll give my bonus power to Ivy. She'll
Okay.
benefit from the most. So
Zombie incoming. Ooh, another 4.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, but now it's Zam.
I would say push him out of this 4 foot or this 4 block by 4 block. You think?
that'd probably be a good idea. I think it's technically
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, it's bigger than that.
No, it's 4x4. So
Oh, I see.
Give us a bit of breathing room here
Yep.
and a
All right,
chance to
So-
form up.
like so. Oh, I don't think this one was in it.
yeah,
it
it
is.
Oh,
It gets pushed
okay.
out to one of these spaces.
The Zan surge around you, and they give a mighty push, and the zombies are shoved back a little bit. I think of the army actions I wrote, the melee surge is my favorite, just because the positioning of it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Thrum.
Thrum, protect his flank. I'll get the other.
Aye. Is this obelisk, are we going to play it like it's a hard object?
Yeah,
That
it's you can't be in these spaces.
Okay. All right, then he is going to walk over here, take a attack of opportunity.
Oh yeah, from that one.
Yeah, he would provoke.
20.
That hits.
7 bludgeoning.
You roll so high against Thrum. It's like almost like you have a vendetta
Yeah,
against him.
It's weird. I don't. I also roll high against anyone, it would be Taskill, but
And then he's gonna use a bonus action to go large again. Rock
Okay.
form. And he is. Did either one of these look wounded?
nope, they're both full.
All right. Then he's gonna go ahead and hit the one on his right.
Okay. Oh yeah, that'll do it.
Oof.
Oh yeah, I almost forgot to do a quick GM roll for the apothecary. One moment. Okay. Believe that's your turn. Ivy.
I'm gonna target the one by Taskill.
Okay.
Wow.
That'll miss.
Wow. I'd rather get a natural 1 than 2 of the same damn number.
Right.
It's statistically improbable, but happens a lot. No.
And she'll just move over to.
Oh yeah, except for yeah, but Nolgrim.
All right, Nolgrim will reposition to be here, and take a Eldritch Blast against that one.
Okay. Damage.
Another minimum damage roll.
It's only a D10.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
This won't take the entire entire night.
It could be worse. You could not have the ability to add your intelligence modifier to it.
Yeah, right.
I don't know why anyone wouldn't choose that as a warlock. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
If they don't plan on being cantrip heavy, which kind of defeats the purpose of Warlock, to be honest.
Yeah.
I guess that's you're going to coffee lock. I only know that because I've looked at people talking about it. I'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm. So, tempted to move here and turn undead, but that,
I mean, that's a good idea.
yeah.
Do it.
I mean, that's literally what the clerics are best at. Be like, fuck you, undead. It's even better when you get the turn undead where it just kills them.
It would also provoke.
Oh yeah.
It's
I'll
worth it, though.
I was going to say with Taskill's armor, though.
yeah, that'll
Thing
miss.
running away.
So what's the saving throw that we're looking at here? It's a wisdom, if I remember correctly.
14 on a wisdom, I think.
Okay, and I gotta roll
14.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so DC 14, and I have to roll 6. 1. Passes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I will say this one by Nolgrim, which is the farthest away, is the only one that isn't turned, but all the other ones get it.
Mm-hmm.
Scary bearded man, run away.
And seeing that one is not shaken by the presence of the Holy Father Mountain, command the weapon to fly over there and smack it.
I think it only goes 20 feet, doesn't it?
You cast it 60 feet, but I think its move is 20 feet.
Then it will not.
Okay.
Sorry to be a stick in the mud there.
Yep, no.
You can still move it part of the way.
Or just hit the
Another-
one you're on.
Okay, for
It's
whatever
another
reason,
flank, buddy.
it's... Yeah, for whatever reason, it's not letting me control Z on roll 20. So... Yeah. And then it's down to 6 turns.
Okay.
Right. Have to cast it again.
Freya.
Okay. So, okay, yeah. Well, it's gonna take out my Battle Axe. And I just want to make sure that it's not using the better to hit. I want to make sure that it's... Yeah, it's not magic right now. So it'd just be the +2. Yeah.
That'll hit.
For 5 slashing, I'm a 1.
So DC 10. Hey, you kill it.
Hey.
And then the Steel Defenders is going to attack the one he's been attacking.
Okay.
Hopefully that one will fall. Don't think that hits.
Nope.
It does not. All right. Fungal zombie turn. Ones are going to full move away. Assuming you don't take an attack of opportunity, of course. Thrum.
He would attack of opportunity on the one he had already hit one time.
Okay. Give me an attack roll.
Miss?
Yeah, that'll miss. Good news is you missed, so it's still turned. If you had hit it, it would have stopped running.
I figured it was worth the gamble to get a free hit that might kill it.
Away. This one will full move towards. Takes its full turn to do that. Those two will stay on the Steel Defender. Towards. Full move towards. And this one will move up to attack Nolgrim. So, first on Nolgrim. 13 misses. And then on the Steel Defender. 1, 2. The 10 definitely misses. Does the 15 hit?
Think it might. Let me check. Steel Defender, yep, does hit.
All right. 2 bludgeoning. It's always 2.
Not another 2. That makes 6 damage total.
It's almost like I'm doing the damage rolls on that guy.
Yeah, you've been rolling really low.
Fergis.
Gonna shoot this one.
Okay. That'll hit. Ooh, needs to get 22. Which it does not. The unkillable one finally dies.
And I'll bonus action Freya. So
Okay.
she'll get advantage as I bark orders at her.
All right. Stop. Zombie time. 3 more. 1. A 2.
A 3.
A 3. There we are. And then the Zan, if you want him to do anything.
I think we should go after one of these guys that's just hovering a little close. Or do we want to go after these two? Let's go after these 2 guys with a targeted strike.
Yeah, so the targeted one on these 2 to see if we can get rid of them.
Yeah.
Okay, 1 moment. Sorry, where were you targeting strike? These 3 down here?
Well, not the 3. This one's running still.
Oh, okay, just those 2.
Yeah. It's a 15-foot square anyway, so.
Targeted. Looking at 25 damage.
Some damn nice damage rolls there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And now they've got to make DC 14 dexterity saving throws. 1, 2. One of them does, so it'd be taking half damage, which would be 12. So this one takes 12, and the other one needs to get a natural 20 to just not be instantly destroyed, which it does not. The Zan hunters are putting in some work.
Yeah, they are.
All right. The apothecary has been examining the obelisk for a couple rounds now, but he hasn't come to his any sort of conclusion yet. Thrum.
Can he step here? Would that completely block off anything from coming this way towards the apothecary?
Yeah, like this one would have to go through. This one would have to go through you. So yeah, that works.
Okie dokie. And then he's gonna ready an attack for anything that gets in range.
All right. Ivy.
I'm going to get to here and muck.
Mhm.
Fire off a shot at this one by the steel defender again. Oh, that happened to the character sheet. Give me a second.
That'll hit. All right. So that is 13 damage.
And she doesn't have anything else to do. I'll have her bonus action dash to get another 15 feet up right to there.
Cool. Nolgrim.
Pick against that guy.
Okay.
Hey, it's slight improvement.
Hit, do 6 damage. All right. Taskill.
This time, hammer.
Oh yeah.
There ain't no stopping it.
That'll hit. All right. The rolling part yet, but it's very close.
In which case, I'll come up and try
No.
to finish it off.
I was gonna say you're leaving his flank exposed.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be able to reach him right now.
True enough. Go for it.
Better to kill it.
Get out of my swamp.
That'll hit. So DC 10 Constitution saving throw, and it succeeds, so it's still standing. All right, Freya.
Okay. Well, the one next to Freya I killed. So I think I'm gonna start pulling things this way. So, oh gosh, we moved 25 feet, right?
Yes.
May want to consider moving on land and then moving without the difficult terrain penalty, if possible.
I mean, technically, with Gloomstalker, he could take a bonus action to double its long range. And then with Fergus's benefit, he won't be rolling a disadvantage. He can hit pretty much anything on the map.
Yeah, between me and him, we could make it. It's literally a sniper and their spotter.
Nice.
But yeah, let's see. Let's get this one over here.
Okay.
Gloomstalker out. And fire.
Ooh, nice.
Nice. So that is 21 damage. Oh, 18, because I suck at math. Still a nice.
Did you add the bonus damage to it? Because I only see 1d10 plus 2 plus 1.
Yeah, and then the plus 5 is
plus
the
5.
other D10.
Okay, yep, that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, they separate the other D10 so you can see that that's the critical damage.
Gotcha.
Yep. Massive damage. Also, so you guys know, if you manage to put a zombie into its rolling Constitution saving throw with a critical, it automatically fails. How that works. So
Nice.
but
Must be nice to get those criticals sometimes.
It's still standing.
And then the Steel Defender is going to attack the one next to it.
Gotcha.
13, that's it.
That'll hit.
Non-force.
All right. The DC 14. It succeeds. All right. Zombies. Moving up. This one will move into attack Thrum.
Do I get my ready to attack?
You do. All right, so that is 7 damage. And then in for the Apothecary. All right, so 1 on Steel Defender, 1 on Thrum, 1 on Nolgrim, and 1 on the Apothecary. So Steel Defender, 16 will hit for 6 bludgeoning damage.
I guess it can't be 2 every time.
Yeah, that's the boss zombie. He did 3 times the damage of every other zombie.
I know. Next is Nolgrim, 16.
Miss.
Thrum, 14, I imagine misses.
Miss.
And the Apothecary, 22 will hit.
I thought that one was farther away than it can go.
They can
it was
move 30
20
feet.
Oh, well, you always say they double moved it. Oh, because the gunk.
Difficult terrain.
I thought they just weren't affected by the gunk because they lived in
Nope.
it.
They were genuinely affected by it. Just had the added benefit of giving them that kind of slow, lurchy zombie movement. All right. Fergus.
Gonna give my bonus to Ivy, and then I'm going to shoot at the one near the Apothecary.
All right. That'll hit.
So 13.
It's a DC 17. Just hits it. It's still standing. Your turn?
Yep.
All right.
Last action is just a normal spear volley, so...
I say do that here, so I could get these 3.
Let me put the more zombies.
No, this would be a 30-foot, I believe. 25-foot radius, because it's a 4x4, so it would be...
it says 20-foot radius, doesn't it?
I know, a 20-foot radius. I thought it was this. Oh,
No,
radius. No, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. Never mind.
No.
So that'll hit all 4 of these.
Oh, there's one over there? Yeah, so I say do that.
No, that was just me being dumb at angles and words.
Yeah, just no worries. The wording is weird, but I was trying to get a feel there. I mean, I guess I could have said the tight volley is a 5-foot radius, which would have been the same thing. But either way.
Mhm.
Okay, so 4 of them are giving dexterity saving throws.
Yep.
And this is the normal one. So 8 damage. So 1, 2, 3. Only one of them is taking full damage, which will be. I'll just roll randomly. Okay. The wounded one next to Taskill and Nolgrim is taking full damage, so he's got a DC 13 to not die. Which he passes. Everyone else.
Son of a bitch.
Everyone else takes 4. The Apothecary, however, releases some rapport spores, so that way everyone within a few feet of him, so basically just Taskill, Nolgrim, and Thrum can hear him in his mind. And he says, the obelisk is actually a structure made out of living bone. The goo is some kind of marrow infection. I can try to use the components I have to create a antibiotic tincture to remove it. But that'll take a little bit of time. Unless there's a magical way to remove it faster.
Taskill, you got anything like that?
Luster Restoration would remove disease.
Yeah. Yeah, I could do that.
Because I would
still might want to try. I don't know if there's like a roll or anything on that, but
he has all the components to make it, but it's gonna take. He can't make it in one round. It's gonna take a few more rounds. I've been doing some behind the screens game master rolls on like his progress on things, so that just means more rounds of holding off zombies.
yeah. Well, I'll try it.
I was gonna say you
That's
can always
still a
just
couple
double down.
turns.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still a couple rounds, or
Oh yeah, you
four.
still have to get to you. So Thrum.
All right, Thrum's going to reach over and grab that, or attempt to grab that one.
I always forget you've got such far reach. That's great. Yeah, go ahead. Oh yeah, that'll succeed. So give me an athletics. 19.
Oh, beats it.
Yeah, you're trying not to elbow the apothecary in the head, so you're just not able to get good leverage.
Yeah, probably a bit more than scuff dignity if you knock his cap off.
Oh, that'd be traumatic. So if there's nothing else, Ivy.
I'm gonna fire at the one near the apothecary.
Okay. That'll hit. So that is 13, so DC 18. It goes down.
Bonus action dash to get basically on top of where its corpse is.
All right, Nolgrim.
All right, Nolgrim's going to take a swing at this one.
Mhm.
And war pick.
That'll hit. 8 damage. Oh no,
course.
it's still up.
Yep. I'll hold this one off. You tend to the obelisk.
Mm-hmm.
Taskill.
Yeah, moving
You
there.
may want to take a swing at it with your hammer first.
Well, it takes an action to cast.
Yeah.
Oh, the
Bonus action hammer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bonus action. Hammer.
yeah,
Spiritual hammer.
yeah.
That'll hit.
Hammer time.
I would laugh if it fails this DC 10. No.
Mm. And I guess I'll cast Lesser Restro.
All right. Cast Lesser Restoration on the obelisk. I believe it's got like a range of touch, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's why
Okay.
I moved.
Yeah, just want to make sure, just for the description. So you lay your hand on it, and a plume of warmth moves out from your touch, and there's a sizzling sound as the goop flowing from the carved runes on this obelisk cease flowing and kind of go from a blue to warming up to like a bright hot white, and it kind of echoes out as it just burns away the gunk in a wave and moves up the zombies as if it was going through veins in their bodies, and they spasm before falling to the ground as just a loose amalgamation of bone and mold-infested flesh, and all the zombies go down a la Phantom Menace style.
Play of the game.
Yeah. All the zombies are gonzo. And just like that, the battle is over.
So Taskill just get XP for 27 zombies, and the rest of us only got like 2.
No.
Fortunately, it's automatically shared.
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't leave party before he did it, so
You say that, but that's literally how the one in-person game I did as a player went, where the rogue that ran away, literally leaving party, is the only one that didn't die, so we got all the XP.
yeah, that stuff is like kind of bullcrap to me. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
the game master was very old school.
Yeah, that's old school. The way my first one did
But the
it.
thing is, I would argue that if he ran away, none of you got experience at the very least.
Yeah.
If
Well-
if someone was if he ran away, that means he. If they're going to go off of video game terms or something, guess what? You ran away. You don't get any of the experience you accrued. I don't know. That seems weird to me.
No,
Anyway.
I don't disagree with you. He got so much experience because I tried to buy time for the rest of the party to flee, and I ended up as a level 3 barbarian killing something like 6 lizard folk. The game master was trying very hard to kill me, and it just was not working. I refused to die.
Well, barbarian. That's the whole barbarian shtick.
Yeah.
Is refusal to die. Especially if you play like a half orc, where when you go down, you come back up.
Mm-hmm.
Which, by the way, I find it weird that full-blooded orcs don't get that in 5e.
Yeah, that is a strange thing. I guess you could say it's like orcish fortitude mixed with human tenacity, but I don't know.
I don't know. It's just weird that they don't get it.
So yeah, as you guys are picking yourselves up from your combat, catching your breath, a few of the Zan fell in the combat, but Niku is all right, and the vast majority of the force is still up and kicking as well.
Can Nolgrim, can you read the writing on the obelisk now that it's safe to do so?
All right, Mick.
I just asked you to read the writing on the obelisk,
Oh, yes, I shall do that.
since you can read everything.
Yep.
All right. So you're reading the writing on the obelisk. Why don't you go ahead and give me a wisdom save?
Wisdom saving throw?
Wisdom saving.
He has become the zombie.
It's an ancient inscription. I can barely read it. It says, "What does the fox say?"
Whoever reads this obelisk shall die.
Now,
Cow go moo. Duck
why
go
does it have
quack.
so many N's after the fox say? Yeah, I'm not gonna read it verbatim, but it's a very strange inscription. That as you're reading it, kind of the floor kind of rolls underneath your feet, and the world seems to go swimmy.
Mm.
None of the you after this are feeling it. It's just Nolgrim who's reading it. It is some kind of strange abstraction of a story. Of a ancient. It's a little unclear if it's an extremely powerful being or some kind of demon lord, maybe a god that no one remembers the name of anymore. That was plunged in the earth and slain in ancient times. Some sort of unholy being of growth and shapes and forms.
A black mass thrown down by a giant. What did you say they were? Gold giants?
Gold armored giants. But Fergus hasn't said anything about that.
Nolgrim will be trying to convey this as he's reading it.
Yeah, when you try to speak, everyone else, all you hear is the and he's just vaguely pointing towards the obelisk. It's a strange sensation reading it, because I may not be giving you a verbatim description of what it says, but that's largely because even though that you are reading words, you feel like it's not a verbatim written description. You're almost more getting feelings and emotions from the writing.
Okay.
So you're very unsteady on your feet now, but you kind of somewhere in your mind as the world is swimming around you, kind of are able to put together, along with what the apothecary said about the obelisk actually being made from bone, is that this obelisk used to be a bone of that thing that was killed here. And for some reason, even though you have no evidence, you know it's a rib bone.
Okay.
And then you fall flat on your back.
Unconscious or just in a drunken daze of
You're
sorts?
kind of in a daze. Roll me 1d3. You speak in tongues for the next hour.
Nice.
Oh, he's gone cuckoo. Should we just let him out into the forest?
I'll be fine.
Speaking in tongues means you just speak gibberish right now, by the way.
Oh, I thought you were as in the spell.
No.
So he's
No,
trying
sorry.
to.
That's a miscommunication on my part. You speak only gibberish
Okay.
for the
okay.
next hour. You're fully in control of your body and motor functions, if a little lightheaded, but you can't form words.
Let's put him in the cart. Taskill, you take a look at him. We got to get on the road.
Aye.
Imagine Thrum putting his arm around Nolgrim and nodding as he speaks gibberish to him, walking him over to the cart. Sit down right here, boy. Yes.
Out of
yes.
curiosity, do I know I'm speaking in tongues, or am I like trying to? Do I feel like I'm talking normally, but they just don't seem to be understanding?
You can hear yourself. It's
Okay.
definitely like one of those. There's some sort of wire that's just not connected right now.
Okay.
Don't worry, it won't be permanent.
I don't know.
That's what she said. All right, have a seat.
I hope.
That's high.
Only on Tuesdays.
Ivy's following you, Thrum, and goes, this would be the perfect time to make him agree to things.
What?
Well, think about it. He can't say no right now, so... Hey, Nolgrim, you don't mind if I borrow your pickaxe whenever I want to, right?
I'd say he understood that. Let's see.
I'm not hearing a no.
True.
Silence it. Silence is.
Then he would shake his head or nod his head yes.
Hey,
See,
Nolgrim, speak.
He said I could borrow the pickaxe whenever I wanted.
Hey, Nolgrim, speak gibberish or say nothing if you think the ancient dwarven lore isn't all that great.
He would give you the middle finger.
I think this is a good point that Ivy's brought up to us.
All right. Can't find a good one under 100 these days.
At this point, Miku comes up to join you guys, releasing his spores to communicate with you. Says, that was well fought. It's much better than the last time that we came here.
Whoa, feedback.
We had a run through with them, and it didn't go so well either. It just goes to show you what teamwork can do.
Yes, I remember I was there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was talking about when we
Yeah,
did the thing, not when
Yeah.
Zan did.
Totally missed that. Okay.
it's fine. It's Miku's the type of literal person that he wouldn't have really thought you were meaning anything else.
Yeah,
It's like,
it's been
yes,
done.
I remember. This information is correct. Oh man, I freaking I miss playing Bormek. I did that a lot. You remember that one? It's just I said I find someone very incompetent at their job, and then after that I'm like, I'm sorry for my emotional outburst.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Um,
I love Commander Holt.
Miku says, well, I have been ordered to return the force back to Zan after this is complete. I understand that you're turning to the Skizrow's lair.
Aye, you're not going to accompany us?
I have other orders at the moment, so I must return to Zan. But I do hope we meet again.
Understood, Miku. I consider you a friend here in the fungal jungle. I hope you prosper and live long.
And he gives his best approximation of a humanoid nod, and then he leaves, along with all of his
We never really asked how long their life expectancies are. I mean, if you think about it, they could live as long as dogs.
Or as short as a mushroom.
Aren't mushrooms theoretically immortal?
Not the ones in my front yard.
Well, yeah, when you go out your way to kill them.
Long over.
All right. This leaves you guys just on your own. 3 days have passed since you have left Zan. So you have 6 days until the alchemist and his party sets out for the designated meeting spot.
I'd ask Nolgrim to check his map, but I don't think we're going to get good feedback. But the way I figure it, this is the best direction. We hadn't been through it, but I think it'd be the fastest. Any objections?
I don't think so.
Well, let's not.
Drama.
Well, let's not lollygag. Somebody stay back there and talk to that feller.
Oh, I'm sure Ivy's going to be all over that.
Hey, Nolgrim, Suba says what?
Dammerhall?
Yeah, I knew it. Also, out of character, I like how you're just saying Simish.
Right?
All right, so you guys are pressing through those 2 hexes that you hadn't explored before?
Yeah.
And
Well, y'all want to go ahead and double time it?
Probably.
Yeah.
We probably need to start double timing it to get to the Siskrell, at least to the Siskrell, and then we can start slowing down if we need to.
Yeah. I think it's better to move fast early. Because we don't know what'll happen.
2. All right, I already rolled for random encounters, so there wasn't anything during those days. So that's 2 more days.
One more day?
Oh yeah, 1 more day. Sorry,
Yeah.
I keep confusing hexes and. Right, that's on me.
No problem. And then we'll go through what we've already seen.
Yep.
We're 4 days out of Zan right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still double moving?
Yep.
All right.
It's 8. Yep.
5 days out of Zan.
All right. Yep, that's 5 days. I'm just also keeping track of my own day counter here.
Yeah. I'm just trying to keep track of the days for when we when the people leave from Zan.
6 days out of Zan. You guys are getting very lucky on your random encounter tables right now, by the way. Okay.
And we got 1 more double move to get to Siskrell territory, and then we'll do a single move after that.
All right. And then you move into the temple.
Not to be a stickler, but could we call it here before we get involved with the Siskrell? So that
Yeah,
way,
sure, no problem.
next time we play, I can actually talk a little bit better without having to feel like I need to put gauze back in my mouth.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I believe that was day 7, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'll just mark this down real quick.